And it's a beautiful midweek, isn't it? We are back again.
Absolutely. It's Wednesday, and you slept well. You're not feeling too well. Are you better? What is going on your mind this morning? You better wake up and get yourself going, all right? You need to go to work. Yeah, we're already here. We've got 4 hours to spend with you. I mean...
Amazing 4 hours.
Yeah.
Amazing 4 hours.
It'll only get better.
Yeah, and thank you so much for always making us number one in your homes. This is Prime Morning. My name is Roslyn Felly, and I'm here with the man.
I'm KMJ, and it feels great to be back again to serve you. This morning, we've got a lot to talk about and a lot of things to do. And we start off here on Newsflash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, Phones Papa Pavie. And this morning, we'll go to the floor of Parliament. Yesterday, there was a heated debate.
Yeah, on the budget,
the issue
right?
Of, yes, the budget, which the issue of U.S. aid, and the government had to actually fill in the gap, and we had to actually raise about 100 million Ghana cedis to be able to do so. And Tuforsen has been telling the floor of Parliament how he intends to do that. Some other 4.9 million have also been, supposed to be on cap from the NHI, so to be able to fix all of that. So it looks like we can do things when we are pushed to the wall.
But we're just hoping that it won't be one of those things that when we hit the ground bottom, we'll hear things like, oh, because US aid pulled out, that is why we are struggling, like what happened in the case of COVID and Russia-Ukraine war, where the government had to keep blaming.
We don't want to hear that.
So I'm just saying that we are hoping that we don't ever hear that, it's because US aid withdrew, and so we had to do A, B, C, D, that's why the city is struggling, and all of that,
but it's not really 155 million. It's not really much.
How much did we go to the IMF for? How much did we go to the IMF for?
That's more than what we are looking at anyway, but they can use that as an excuse.
But still, you understand?
No, it's possible. I'm not disputing that. It's possible. But the problem is this. You've promised.
You ought to deliver.
Exactly. And Ghanaians are not ready to listen to COVID and Ukraine because we heard them during the elections.
Yes, we did.
And we said we didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Even though we heard it, we didn't hear it, so we voted against you. So when you also try the same thing, we'll probably be thinking, oh, we have heard you, but we have not heard you.
Well.
And we're going to vote again. So I think it's strategic for every government right now. The way you play with the minds of the people,
right?
You have to be extremely strategic because the least mistake you do, these people are going to kick you out. And that's something that everybody is supposed to be looking at.
And you don't want it to happen.
No.
You don't want to lose power.
No, you can't.
It's painful. If you want to know how power, when power leaves your hands, it feels like Asafenya marking.
Speaking about Asafenya marking, now the minority in Parliament have actually rejected the LI 2462, which actually strips of the president the powers to issue license for, mining areas in the forest. And they believe that there's supposed to be some laying process that the Environment Minister, Mutala, should have gone through, and he didn't. So they want him to go back and do that. Now, Mutala actually also explained that the reason why he didn't go through was the fact that it's something they wanted to it more expedite because it's a very pressing issue. The president promised, and they want it to happen. Now, if that happens, it means that the president will not be able to issue license to anybody to go and mine in any forest area, which is a good thing. I mean, I feel like it is not fighting it.
I have been advocating for this particular, LI to be repealed. I don't even know, and I keep saying, I don't even know why it was passed in the first place. The members of Parliament will defend it. Oh, maybe it was this and that. To me, and to other Ghanaians out there, it does not make sense.
It's the reason where we are right now.
It does not make sense. They'll tell you, we needed to try to know if it was going to work or it wasn't going to work. It does not make sense. Why touch our water bodies? Why touch our forest reserves? It's called a forest reserve for a reason. It's called water body for a reason because water is the life.
Yeah.
And so why touch it? If you know that we have the land that we can actually go on there to get the gold from. Did we have to get to water bodies? Did we have to go into the forest reserves? Are you telling us that we did not make sure that we had a fertile land enough to mine gold? Because when you speak with these gold experts, they'll tell you that when you mine a certain area and you plant and you move and you come back, you find another gold where you planted. Does it mean that we're not planting? Were we leaving the land bare to get so destroyed that we had to now go into our water bodies? It doesn't matter whether there's license or not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that do not touch, period.
I think the issue has to do with greed, you know.
Thank you very much.
Greed. And it's the reason why people would mine at a certain place and destroy it completely, you know, without thinking about the effect that it's going to have on the people. And so if it's not for greed, you would understand that at a certain point you have to stop mining at a certain place. And if you are issued another license, you go to a different place and then make sure that that place, because elsewhere it is done.
Yeah.
By the time you come back, that place is looking different.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So I think it's greed.
It's greed.
And
knowing very well that before this LI 2462 was passed, we were still struggling with Galamsey.
Exactly.
Why even pass this?
I mean, that was 2022.
Why even pass it? Because as of that time, we still had this whole Aisha 1, we had this, we had that, we had that, and you go ahead and pass such a bill.
It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. And I'm hoping that, you know, we'll be able to get through this. Yes, it's a very tough decision by the president, but it has to be done. Because it's the reason why we can actually save our forest reserves. Imagine over 44 of them have completely left us. Now, 9 of them, you can't even reclaim it back. It would take you a lot of work.
I'm wondering what made them even agree to this in Parliament to be passed.
It's crazy. Anyway, that's our conversation this morning here on Newsflash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phones, Papa. If you do well to send your messages and let us know what you think about this. We'll be reading them here on the show. We stream live on Facebook, and then we've got you on WhatsApp as well. We'll move on from there. We'll talk about trends.
We'll talk about trends. Of course, there's a lot trending. Guess what? There's a face that has, you know, been unveiled and is trending. And it's alleged that that is Anas Arimiao Anas's face. Yes.
It
looks like his face has been unveiled.
Well, we've heard this before, and they said, no, it's not him.
Okay, so he was in court. You can't go to U.S. courts and you have an impersonator. So he was in the U.S. court, and he's won a suit.
He won $18 million.
He won a suit, $18 million over Kennedy Ejapong due to defamation.
Unveiling of the face, you know?
So yeah, I mean, like, if I take this money, I ain't coming back. I ain't coming back. I get $8
What is it going to do here?
I'm not talking about $1 million, y'all. It's $18 million, guys. I tell you.
Live your life there.
Yeah. So finally,
you know, he's good with aesthetics, so he can use plastic anytime.
No. There's no plastic. Trust me. If you see that picture.
No, I'm not talking about the picture. I'm saying
anytime
he can change his face. Okay,
well,
he's been doing this for
well, he can change his face and come to Ghana.
Exactly.
But with that, you know, court representation, if the court says it's you, so you have to be there. And his face has finally been unveiled. He can come out and say it's not him, but we know it's him. You know, we know it's him.
Because he's used a lot of times.
We know it's him. So during trends, Shola will let us know every nitty-gritty with regards to that particular story and other stories that are trending as well.
$18 million in your account. Life will be good.
Life is good. Life is good. And then I think the sports as well, right?
Yes, Nat and the team will be coming through this morning. They've got some latest updates
in the world of sports
for us as well. So you want to watch out for that. We've got entertainment.
So even before entertainment, we are in the whole brouhaha of the nominations with regards to the Teleshow Ghana Music Awards. They're unveiling all the nominations were unveiled on Saturday, where you and I graced the occasion. Now, talking about that, there's been a lot of issues on social media, you know. Let's even start with Team Eternity Ghana, where, you know, certain individuals went on social media to question why they are even as a group in a gospel artist category, where I also decided to take them on. You know, I took them on, and, you know, but things have been settled.
Unnecessary.
All love. Things have been settled, all love. And, you know, so today we'll delve into that. We'll also delve into Kim Paluta's Makoma.
That was a huge song.
That's a huge song, but it didn't get nomination. And he has written to Charterhouse to find out why. Let's not forget that there's still that open. I think is a 5 days open or is a 7 days open. And so you can actually file or petition the board just in case you feel you haven't been treated fairly And so Kim Paluta is petitioning the board.
He may get the results.
Yes.
Because last year we saw the same thing. Some people did, petitions and they got the
results. Yeah, exactly.
So he may.
Yeah. So we'll be having Robert Kla and Edem Chotome here in the studios for us to talk about that. And also, one man who is doing so well in putting Ghana on the map, Barry Mamu, who has a nomination, Record of the Year, will also be here for us to talk to him. And so it's going to be a great conversation today. You don't want to miss out at all on our super duper morning show.
Absolutely. There's a reason you need to stay with that. We're still celebrating Ghana Month, and in that regard, we've got our Akan proverb of the day. I don't know where we're going to go, whether we're going to go to the Volta region or the Eastern region or the Ashanti region. Yesterday we went to Volta region, and I'm but I don't know what we're going to do today. So this one is what?
It's Ga?
Ga. Okay. And it says, Aleha Monili.
Did you just read Chinese or something?
I cannot do another stinking for him or her. And I'm going to repeat the same thing again.
Don't do it. You really want to do
it? Mona Lisa. Man, see, I'm trying with the gambit.
Yeah,
this one, I could repeat it again and again. It will still start the same thing. I have no idea. Anyway, but it actually means that one cannot do another thinking for him or her. Ignorance is no excuse for negligence of duty and responsibility, which is imperative. All right, so yeah, if you can read the go
ahead and do it.
Put it in your own way, and let's enjoy our morning.
Anyway, this is how we are starting our morning. Don't forget to be a part of our conversations from Facebook all the way to WhatsApp. So on Facebook, we're streaming live. You just leave your comment there. And also make sure that you hit the share button. Let everybody on your timeline enjoy it. On our WhatsApp is 055-157-5757. 055-157-5757. And let's get the show going. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone Papa Perfie.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the show. Hello there. Thanks for staying with us here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into news flashes. Proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phones, Papa Pathie. We're grateful to them this morning. We're encouraging you to also go there and buy from them. Franco Trading Enterprise is giving you the best of gadgets when it comes to iPhones, Samsung, Nokia. If you're looking for television, you can get the biggest screens you want when you get to Franco Trading Enterprise. Those of us who are looking at getting refrigerators, you can also go there. Your air conditions, you can buy from them. Now, you want to monitor your homes and your offices when you're not around. Franco Trading Enterprise is giving you CCTV cameras that are of quality and affordable as well. You can grab one for yourself and monitor anytime, any day, wherever you are. You can be able to monitor your homes, and that's a Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones, Papa Pafie, please do well and call them with the numbers that you can see on your screen. So do not pick any number on social media to do business with us. Always make sure that you're calling the number you see on your screens and do business with us. You can also download the app. It's on Google Play Store. It's Franco Trading app, and you're good to go. You can also go on our website. It's www.francotrading.com. And you can get all the details you need, our branches, our numbers you can call on, what we have in store, and, anything that you need when it comes to gadgets. Franco Trading Enterprise is here to give you even more. And that's what we're saying. Kind of courtesy, Franco Trading Enterprise. We've got news flash this morning here on Prime Morning. We're hoping to have conversations with you. We'll be checking the front page of the newspapers to see what has been reported. And our two major issues that we'll be looking at this morning. We'll be looking at the LI 2462, which actually strips the government or the president of the powers to release mining forest for people to mine. Now, in the floor of Parliament yesterday, the Environment Minister actually put it at the floor of Parliament, but it was rejected by the minority. I feel I can explain that there was supposed to have been some pre-laying process which was not done, and he wants that done. We'll be looking at that here on the show. Now, everybody's talking about the fact that we need to make sure that, we don't mine in forest areas. And now that we've got something like that, the majority is trying to put across, why is the minority saying no to it? We'll look at that here on the show. And also, we already know about U.S. aid and what it's become since Trump took office. The government is trying as much as possible to fill in the gap. Now, we need about 100 million Ghana cedis to be able to fix this. And, well, if you look at $156 million and you're now trying as much as possible to fill the gap, what it will take you. Now, the uncapping of the NHI is also another situation that we have to be looking at. But the Finance Minister, Dr. Forson, has been explaining why it's important for us to take, the bull by the horn and handle the situation. But is there going to be putting pressure on government? We'll look at that also here on the show as well. So you can send your messages and let us know, share with us what you think about these two topics that we'll be looking at here on the show. I'll be introducing my guest to you in the studio. I've actually been joined by Prof already, so let me introduce Prof and then we'll wait for the others to join, and then we'll go on the front page of the newspapers as well. Prof, good morning. Professor Michael Younger has joined us again. He was here the other time, and he's made time for us again this morning. We really appreciate it. I hope you're good.
I'm good. I'm very happy to be here. Good morning to your viewers across the globe. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for the time. I'm grateful that you're able to join us this morning. Now, let's take a quick look at the newspapers this morning and what has been reported, and then we'll get into our substantive issues here on the show. Now, Daily Graphic is reporting on the agric budget, and it says agric budget too small for impact, CEO assets at PwC post-budget forum. And it has Daniel Fahine Akwe captured by he's the group CEO of Agri Impact Group, and he believes that the budget for agric is too small for the impact that we are hoping that it will be able to make, especially the fact that we've been talking about making sure that we grow our own to feed ourselves and also make some exporting and all of that. So yeah, GCB launches MSE group loans. It offers to support petty trading groups, and also 2025 budget inspires hope, says ISA. That's also captured on the front page of Daily Graphic. At the back page, let's see what is there. NADMO supports Laboni SHS after fire incident, and Ghana National Fire Service suspects electrical cause with regards to that fire outbreak. Assemblies of God retired ministers' spouses undergo free health screening. That's also captured by the Daily Graphic this morning. The Ghanaian Times is here, and on the front page it says 2025 budget inspirational. ISA states calls for proper implementation, and it's always had to do with implementation. If you don't actually implement it well, it's definitely not going to be giving you the kind of results that you need. And another story over here says make prisons transformative centers, president to new prison boss, and acquisition of Ghana Bauxite Company Limited by OPLC followed the due diligence as GBCL. So it's also important to note that the president has tried as much as possible to fill in the gap when it comes to the women representation. Two of the people that have been put in positions, in these high positions, are all female. I mean, if you look at the presence and then the fire service also have over there Madam Mausi, who's also a female occupying that position, and the precinct is also having a boss who's also a female. So the president has been very, very intentional about the women representation in big positions, especially with the affirmative law also passed, and we're hoping that the 30% will be achieved. It's important to note and also commend the president for this. So yeah, it's a good sign, and we like it. Ghana records annual shortfall of 330,000 units of blood. National Blood Service says so, and soldier 4 others shot dead in Boko, Nanumba. That's also captured on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. At the back page it says electricity supply to Kumasi stabilized, and newborns to be screened for sickle cell disease. Professor Osaya Koto says so. Away from that, Let's move on to the news center. And the news center says Dr. Bawumia cannot be faulted for NPP's 2024 election loss. Adjua says so. And you know, she's been talking, especially also commenting on e-levy. She's commented about while she was away and they were forcing her to come, and she has no regrets with regards to that and all that. So, yeah, 11% inflation target in 2025 budget, doubtful. That's ISA. And Finance Minister touts city stability against the US dollar. And away from that, the big story of the year says 661 million Ghana cedis judgment debt to benefit who? There's a big question mark over the cases and how much provision made for each case not mentioned in budget 2025. And urgent solutions needed to avert looming food crisis in Ghana. Gawu says so. IEA louts a proposed review of Fiscal Responsibility Act. That's also captured by the news center on the front page. And on the back page, it's got some other stories, and it says MTN Ghana holds hybrid 7th AGM on March 27. Prudential Bank wins Best Customer Care Award at Bank 7.4.0. Access Bank wins Best Retail Bank and Best Digital Bank in West Africa. That's the news center this morning. The Accra Times is here, and it says that 24-hour economy policy, NDC, NPP, MPs express opinions after policy advisors' presentation. And away from that, Mahama Ayariga dismisses Athinio Makin's proposal for a hospital and chamber block for MPs. That also was on the floor of Parliament this week. And, well, even the citizenry are not excited about that. Some people believe that we have a lot to talk about and to do right now than, you know, thinking about hospitals for members of Parliament. Away from that, Tete Yohonu actually is a result getter. Peter Tobu says so. That's the new IGP, and that's the testimonials that is coming from his nomination as the new IGP. Now, Bargain Task MPs says 2025 budget is a statement of values and priorities. And away from that, 2025 post-budget workshop, enrich your parliamentary scrutiny, says Clark. And governance has its own character. I think Makin says so. Neglect of Wabole Techiman Road, MP cries for attention. That's also captured on the front page of the Accra Times. All right, so that's the Accra Times this morning. Now, the last one will be the Ghanaian Publisher. And on front page, it says, Bauxite Company defends OPCL acquisition process, rejects allegations of wrongdoing. And another one over here says, Asin South MP blast Mahama over dismissal of army generals. That's also captured over here. John Intim Forjo has been captured on the front page of the Ghanaian Publisher. Manasseh Azure writes, good luck to President Mahama and Joss Ponga. That also captured. Page 4 has got a story on that. Once you grab a copy, you can read about it. So pretty much that will be the Ghanaian Publisher and the newspapers that we have this morning. I don't know. Prof, you want to comment on any of them that caught your attention before we even move into it?
Yes, the very first one, the questions about the size of the agricultural budget is something that struck home. One of the means of reviving any economy is actually to go back to the base of the economy. And all economies grew, transformed out of agriculture. And when you are having challenges, sometimes you have very difficult routes to regrow. You have to probably go back to agriculture and then try to transform your way out. So I think that agriculture is key here. But we have been doing it in Ghana the wrong way. We think that transformation is about money. It's always about the processes and the programs you put in place. Unfortunately for us, we almost have 2 budgets a year where we have a mid-year budget review, and the minister can go request for more funds. So I'm happy that at least we have indicated the intention that we want to rely on agriculture to invigorate this economy. What we need to do is to be more targeting in our approach. One of the challenges we are having is a medium, small-scale agriculture, where we are always tending, anytime we mention transformation, we proceed on the path of tractorization. We think commercialization of agriculture, it's about tractorization, but it is about profitability at the smallholder level. We have a knowledge deficit, especially among smallholder farmers, that with some development of para-extension services, para-veterinary services, they could improve productivity there. And when you improve productivity at the smallholder level, what you are doing is actually stimulating disposable income or stimulating consumer spending at that level, and it brings about economic transformation again. So I want to see our agricultural transformation actually solving the problems of agriculture, and not trying to create new avenues of agricultural production. That has been the challenge here. So yes, the budget, someone may think is small, but it's not an issue of having a very huge budget. Anything you throw money at without a concrete plan, you eventually waste the money and fail. And that is not only in agriculture, it's a problem across several sectors. We think that money solves the problem. We don't plan, we don't implement well. And sometimes it's better you do something small, reevaluate it, continuously monitor it, and upscale it. And that's what I want to see here. I think that we shouldn't talk about the money. Can we get results with the money we have? If we have it, then we can definitely go there. So I like the ideas I'm seeing in agriculture. I just want us to compact them well and then focus on growing up. The challenge I already put out there is agriculture is...
Prof, give me a minute. Let me take a moment and then make the next guest also join us, and then maybe he would also want to pass his comment on that as well. So let's take a quick look at what happened in Parliament. When we come back, my next guest will be joining me, and he will also have his take on some of the things that we've seen on the front page of the newspapers, and then we'll delve into the major issues. So on the floor of Parliament, Abu Jinapor was actually rejecting the LI 2462. Take a look at it, what his statements were, and then when we come back, we'll continue.
If the paper is laid, the instrument is laid, and there is any amendment there too, it can be effected, and it will require a certain number as provided for to even annul or amend or do any other thing to it. So on the basis of this provision, this House reached a consensus that allows what we call the pre-laying to enable the committee engage further on this matter, so that when the final instrument, together with the minister, is laid, I mean, that is, they fine-tune it and it's laid, at least we know that it's gone through all the processes. So I shall pray you to place the application on ice for now, and rather direct that the minister goes through what has become known as a pre-laying ritual, so that after that, the laying is done. Mr. Speaker, you can give them 14 days, 7 days, whatever, as it pleases the minister, to allow for that consultation to be done. That said, I am in principle in support of all steps that government intends to take to ensure that we preserve our forests and we deny some of those illegalities going on in our forests. Because I know that this issue of Galamsey, if not well addressed, it would lead this country to a place we don't want to go.
right, so that was the minority leader, Afio Makin, on the floor of Parliament on the issue of LI 2462, which actually strips the government or the president the powers of issuing license in forest areas. And we want to look at it this morning here on the show. But I've been also joined by Honorable Matthew Anyindam. He's joined us this morning. He's also a family former majority chief whip and the MP for Pandai. And he represents the people of Pandai and represents them very well. Honorable, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you too?
Not bad. We're alive. That's the most important thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm also doing well. The name is Honorable Matthew Nyindam.
Oh, it's Nyindam.
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 Exactly.
It means what?
Well, you want the meaning?
Mine means
the meaning is very simple. Life is not a race.
Oh. So
when you are running it, don't run it in the form of a race. Take your time. And if you are destined to get to anywhere, you will definitely get there. In simple terms, that's how I put it.
That's a beautiful name.
Then let me say good morning to the good people of Pandai. Then to also sympathize with some members. In fact, unfortunately, my constituency has not been doing very well these days. The rainstorm has been disturbing us a lot. Quite recently, about 5 or 6 schools have been completely roofed off. We have the Kakweni GHS that has been roofed off. Kachinki Primary School, totally roofed off. Malando Primary School, totally gone. Leseni is gone. Even the GS building in Pandai is also roofed off. So there have been a lot of challenges in the constituency. But we are also asking for Prof and Co. Those who are willing and capable to assist us to come to our aid. In fact, for the homes, those who are homeless, you cannot even quantify them. It's been quite unfortunate, and I pray and wish that we get some interventions as soon as early.
It is well. The president, I'm sure, would, and Richard is here. Richard Manuribe is also joining us this morning, and he's an NDC member, so he has a lot of money, so
yes. KMG, stop that.
You know, he will support. You.
What Honorable Martin Nyindam is talking about is really true, because I have a very fair idea of the Kwandai constituency. Because apparently I'm personally from Kwandai, Mbora.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I recently I was in Loloto with you.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't see you.
No, ambassador's wife.
Oh, yes.
That's my father-in-law.
Oh, I see. So you are part of the family.
Yeah, I'm part of the family.
You need to bring money or advocate for rates.
So I think 2 weeks ago, we were all in Loloto.
Yeah.
And even the water problem there is one of the major problems. Yes. I know much about Pandai. It's a very deprived constituency. Recently, when I was passing, I realized that I think that I will commend you for the drip program you did from Pandai to your village. Yeah. In fact, the last time I went there, the road was very, very, very terrible. And you know, when the rain starts like this, it's a magic community. It's one of the things we also look at. I know President John Dramani Mahama has a very good idea about all the situation, and we'll look at what is happening. Pandai is talking about, even though I'm from Kwanta constituency, but my family are all in Jaragwe. In
okay.
Leseni you are talking about, they're also my family. Okay. And Lajang too, the people there are my family.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Black Giant Co. So these are only partially there, so that's where I come from.
You are a whole man.
Yes, I know how deprived that constituency is. So I think that it's in order. And whatever we can also do to help us people in government, we will not sit down and say that maybe Honorable Matthew is a member of parliament and he is in opposition. It shouldn't happen that way. Yes, they did it to us when our own were there. And as we know, he came to take the seat from us again. But when they were doing our best, even though they were not supporting it that much, but we will not sit down to say that, because I'm a Konkomba, and he's also a Konkomba. And then we must also help our people. It's a responsibility of us to make sure our people are also leveraged. I've always said that when the only problem in this country, when everybody has a domestic needs and meet it up, there will not be lies. And when you don't lie, there will not be insecurity on this community. So it's a responsible, collective one, of course. Okay. And I think that we will see to it and make sure. We just hold on when we get there. And the regional minister also is also just your neighbor, isn't it? It is. But he's also from Bimbila. Yeah. So it's just your neighbor. And when we get an MC on board, we'll make sure that I also contribute.
Okay.
We'll also be on our tour to make sure that those constituencies are also...
Awesome.
But not forgetting my constituency, my beloved Nkwanta South constituency, that I've been you and I, you know, we are from the same constituency.
Absolutely, yeah.
So good morning to Ghanaians and good morning to Prof and everybody here.
Great. All right, so let's start off with the LI 2462 with the Environment Minister putting that before the floor of Parliament, and what the minority seeks to achieve with the rejection, not a total rejection according to Afeoma, because he believes that it's a good thing, and anything that the president decides to do as far as our environment is concerned, and especially Galamsey is concerned, they are all for it, but then there have to be a better process laid for that. I'll start with you, Honorable, because you is the minority that is actually not really in favor of passing this. Repealing this LI at this moment.
That's okay. I think that if you listen to the leader, he's actually not against the laying of the LI. Galamsey has been a canker on all of us. It's eating too much into our society. And the fight of Galamsey shouldn't be an individual fight. It's a collective fight. President upon president has made promises to fight Galamsey.
Yeah.
But those doing this Galamsey are the people in this country. We're quick to blame Chinese, say all those things. I don't see any Chinese man who will come from China and will know where the gold is in this country. It will take us, Ghanaians, to take the person to the ground there to illegally mine. So it's a concern for all of us, because if you listen to people who are into Ghana water, experts, the kind of warnings they are sounding to us, it is our responsibility to sit down as a nation and fight it head on. Else, one day, we'll get up and as usual, we import everything from somewhere, and that will include water that we drink. But his concern, or our concern was, you see, because it's a very sensitive document, and because we all have to fight it together, if you lay it and then later there are errors, or there are certain things that proposals, it will become a bit difficult for all of us. So we have what we call pre-laying. So what he is simply advocating for is that, please, let's refer the document back to the appropriate committee. Let the committee look at it in holistic, because this is something that people have abused. This clause that you have the opportunity, or the president has the opportunity to grant licenses for people to go into some forest and mine. That is the particular act that we want to amend. So it will be in our interest for the committee to have a complete bite on this particular act, make the necessary inputs, whatever is supposed to be taken out is scrutinized and properly taken out, so that when you come to lay it, there won't be any difficulties. That is what the minority leader has just asked for. He's not arresting the acts. He's not against it. Nobody on our side is against it. We are all in support of it. But we don't want to quickly go do something and the following day there are some holes for somebody to maneuver.
But the environment minister believes that we don't have time. We don't have enough time, because this is a very serious issue.
Oh, when they begin to say we don't have time, I have challenges. It's better to do it better than rush to do something wrongly. I'm sure this act that we are coming to amend today was once upon passed by Parliament.
Yeah.
Parliament did it. But today, some people have used it. They've been able to punch some holes into it. They've used it to their advantage. And where we've gotten to, we think that, look, we need to amend that particular act so that the presidency or the president does not have that opportunity to give license to individual, or some minister don't sit somewhere and abuse it. So it's not about time, it's about doing it well. If we're able to do it well as a nation, we benefit together. And this referral, if it's done yesterday, in a day or two, a committee coming, if not because it's a budget period where Parliament is a bit tight, this shouldn't take us a week. So if you just take 1 week and you do the needful and do the proper thing, that will be lasting to this country. I don't see why it should be in a haste. I don't think so. Okay. And I think that, like he said on record, we are never against it, we can't be against it, but we think that ample time should be given to the committee to do the pre-laying. You see, committee level, things are done better than the floor. Because at committee level, every member has an ample time to take a bite. You have ample time to scrutinize. Even sometimes, experts that are not even committee members are invited in. But on the floor, nobody has that opportunity if you're not a member of parliament. So if you want to do proper parliamentary duties at committee levels, you have ample time to do it. And I think that's what the minority leader is asking for. It's been granted, so I think that there's no debate about this. Nobody's against it, and it will be passed very soon. And we all think that it will be into the interest of our nation.
Very well. The first Deputy Speaker of Parliament has given 3 days for that to be done. Just like you rightly said, that if we're able to do it in a day or two, we'll be able to handle the situation. Prof, what do you make of it? You think that we should have just let it go?
I think...
regardless of how properly we want to do it.
Let me put it this way. Parliament has its ways. They have their procedures, and I don't think if we want to make a regulation and the honorable minority leader is saying that we should go and relay it and do the proper thing is bad, because we need to stick to procedures. I agree. I also think that sometimes if they have some ways of consulting each other so that these things don't come to the floor of parliament, it is increasingly polarizing the nation, because now we can't even, at what they do in parliament, we do at our workplaces, and the young people also seem to learn it. They don't come with, this is a technicality which I agree is within his right. Is it an urgent issue? I don't think that President Mahama is going to be issuing any license anytime very soon here. I'm not sure he's going to do that. So a couple of days to ensure that the proper thing is not bad. But what I want to see parliamentarians doing more is to do these things backdoor. We don't know what is in the law, but Galamsey is said that every hour you allow, serious damage is done. So I want this law to be far-reaching. There should be opportunity to make it somehow prospective, to review licenses and reverse some of them. Because it is not going to be new license issue, and that is going to cause the damage we are currently having. It is
the already existing one.
So, as Honorable has rightly said, we will not rely, this law, if it's going to just limit the president from issuing new licenses, it can prevent it from maybe escalating. But with the problems we are currently facing has to do with us reviewing and withdrawing some of these laws. So I want to see it happen. But I think that the Honorable Afeoma Akin, as usual, had his day, and we can't begrudge him. 2-3 days won't do anything, so I don't think this is an issue we should worry so much about. Yes, he could have bent back a little and said, okay, I want to demonstrate my commitment to this. This is what you are supposed to do. But given the urgency of the Galamsey issue, maybe I may be willing on my side to look the other way. But hey, 3 days of reading the bill and making sure it's good, I don't think we'll spoil anything, so I'm okay.
Rich, are we seeing the typical Afeoma Akin and the minority with the way they started, you know, also playing out in what we are seeing right now? You think we could have just gone ahead with it? But this is the typical minority, Afeoma Akin-led minority. KMG,
yeah, you talk about being typical or not being typical. I think it's time we stop being politicizing with everything, every matter in this country. If you recall, LI 2462 was enacted in June 2022. Yeah. And that allow anybody that allowed to give permit to in the forest reserve areas to go and mine. And you know how it has cost this country. People took some other illegal way to go even in prospecting. Let's try to mine. It has become a major problem in this country where all of us, including myself and you, Prof and Honorable Matthew, were all against it. We all know how the illegal mining has cost us in this country. I fully see. People also think about the illegal mining. People also talk about the water. Look, if you care to know, the effects of illegal mining is way, way, way beyond this. I've done my project work on illegal mining and child prostitution. I've always done, and I've had an opportunity of going to illegal mining communities, and what is actually happening there is way beyond the mining and the water pollution we are looking at. You have not even talked about the prostitution aspect of it, the robbery rate, the recidivism, where people cannot be accepted in the community, in the reformation in prisons, and they have to go and end up their life there. Schools are being closed down in those communities because students failed. What am I going to school for? If I'm in school, if I'm home and I go to the Galamsey side and make 5,000 a day, so why do I waste all my time in secondary school to university to come and do? So it's been a serious issue. We should be looking way beyond the water pollution and childbearing deformities we have. And so it's an urgent issue we should be looking at. So this LI is not just an LI that has been, it's not a new introduction of a law. It's just an LI that's going to lead to, let me just use this word, to review the situation and see how best we can reform our mining communities and mining areas. President John Dramani Mahama, if you recall, even before Parliament, before the eighth Parliament, yeah, I think we are in the ninth Parliament.
Ninth, yeah.
Before the eighth Parliament, where both majority and majority had banter to the Supreme Court. It was even Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and the MPP then has even put it in to pass a law to repeal the LI 246. And that law was not repealed because of the situation we had in Parliament. And so it has been an urgent issue that we should be looking at. President Mahama and the NDC felt that the illegal mining situation in which we are today is a very serious issue which we need an urgent attention. If you check this, just as this weekend, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources has had to recruit mining guards along the mining communities because the way at which people are rapidly mining. And now, come to think about it, now the NDC has campaigned against illegal mining. The MPP was, let me just say, whether to think about it, which I know they were not happy, but because of political interest, we're also advocating that, look, illegal mining, there's a difference between illegal mining and small-scale mining. But we all know most of the people come to take the permit for the small-scale mining, but they go around doing illegal mining, which we need to regulate it. And so, as it stands now, if you even check in the social media and the media space, the MPP in the minority now are now asking the NDC what we are doing to fight illegal mining. And now the illegal mining has become worse. Yesterday I was on another platform. They said that there are fresh mining in the communities now. We issue the licenses. We've also argued that licenses that were given just after the elections, even some licenses were issued out. So we need this as soon as possible, an urgent situation, to be able to review this LI and then to do the revocation of some mining communities so that the law permits us that if you meet anybody in the mining community in those areas, that can be prosecuted. You recall the Akunta mining issue, where we're saying that, look, the law permits Chairman Wontumi to enter in that area to mine. So if, as it stands now, if they don't even revoke that law, how can you prosecute that person? And even today, even if you revoke that law or review it and doesn't permit anybody to go into the forest, as the time he destroyed the forest, it can't be prosecuted. Because the law as at that time permit him or her to enter there and mine. And if you see how our forest reserve has been destroyed today, I have always used Bui National Park as an example. Bui National Park is one of the third largest parks in Ghana here. That is why you see all the species, including hippopotamus and other species there. Come to think of it and look at it. Wildlife guards, I'm telling you, wildlife guards are in the forest reserve area and the forests have been depleted. Well, they can't do anything because the laws permit the people to enter there and mine. And they have permits, licenses to go there and mine. As to whether you sack, all the animals run away from the reserve or whatever, they have any legal right to restrict them to go into the reserve and mine. So we need this as soon as possible to be able to repeal the law and restrict anybody not to go into the forest area and destroy our forests. But as we are saying, Apenyo Makin, as typical of him as we say, who will also want Ghanaians to know that the MPP still exists, will do his gimmick. But 3 days is not that much that we should be worried about. But I believe that they being Ghanaians and they also knowing the importance of the repeal of that law and make sure that Galamsey should be a thing of the past, they will support the majority and let us review this law and then we'll make the proper things to be done. That we will get anybody in the forest reserve area or doing improper mining should be prosecuted and the right thing should be done. Then when we find corporate, all these things will stop.
You don't see him coming back again after the 3 days if we go back to...
So that would tell Ghanaians the stand of the MPP on illegal mining. And that's exactly that will happen. Yes.
Very well.
You know, maybe like I earlier on started, when you say typical of Afenyo Makin, I just laugh. Because I don't know what you mean by typical.
Well, from what we've seen,
You see, the House is divided into two. We have the minority, we have the majority.
Yeah.
It's a common knowledge. And the fact that the minority don't agree with you on something does not mean they are being too partisan. I do not agree on that. And there is one thing that we must also learn. The best side of the House that will hold this government strictly to check is the minority side.
Of course.
I agree.
And for that matter, you should expect a lot of criticism from our side, constructively. You should expect that from our side. Don't expect it from the majority side. And it has always been so, not just limited to Ghana, but countries that are practicing democracy. It is up to us, the minority, to hold the majority and government to check. And that you can get it from us. MPP is still alive. Very, very alive. You see, sometimes when I see my friends who are so passionate about their numbers and they think that they have it all, I just laugh. I laugh because I have that experience. I laugh because I was one of the 169 MPs. And I laugh because I was a leader by then. And I laugh because I know what I told the NDC when I was there. With their numbers, I mock at them. I tell them that, look, you guys, the next parliament that will come, which is going to be the 8th parliament, your numbers are going to be reduced. Not knowing I will not even be part of the 8th parliament. I get what I'm saying. Yeah. So when I see my friends who are talking this way, I just want them to know that governance is not the normal campaign that we do in opposition. When you are in opposition, you have all the arsenals to throw. You have all the bullets to shoot. But when you come to government, the reality will dawn on you. And I'm telling them the reality will dawn on them. Ghanaians are very sophisticated. Voters are very sophisticated. They better have to sit up properly and see how they can meet the needs of this country. Okay? But I don't think Makin has been petty. He's raised a very important point. And this law has nothing to do with the fight of Galamsey in general.
Not at all.
It's just to amend the aspect that the presidency or the president will allow some mining activity in the forest. That room was given for the president to operate. We've all spoke about it. A time has come for us to take that particular act and amend it and take off that power from the presidency. And maybe strictly say that nobody has the right to mine in our reserves. Maybe. Yeah. It could be a complete rendition that will stand. So we all have to look at it. So that we don't go and do something that will not help inure to the benefit of this country. That's all Makin is asking for. He's not being too partisan about it. But I just want my brother to know that the Galamsey fight and the Galamsey activity that are ongoing are still ongoing. Okay? Some are not even in the forest. So it is a fight for all of us. I would not even want to say that only the NDC. When the Minister for Lands came to give a statement on the floor, I told him that, look, if you want to approach this fight partisan, you will never succeed. Today, as we speak, those who are accused of practicing huge Galamsey today are NDC people. They are the people they are accusing. And if you go into the ground today, their boys have taken charge.
The NDC boys?
They have taken charge because they think it is our government. Yes, if you look at them and you don't do anything, eventually you will suffer it. Ghanaians will suffer it. Like you said, child prostitution, people run there, even the death toll. You go to the northern part of the country, a lot of young men, our brothers are dead because they think they want to do Galamsey. So, Makin is just making a proposal, and 3 days has been given. It's going to be looked at, but I can assure my brother that we will take the fight to them as a minority. I always tell people, majority is majority. It doesn't matter. A minority is minority. It doesn't matter. Even if we're 20 in parliament, we are still minority. If you were 200, you are still majority. Then you cannot take away the voices of the 88 persons on the floor of parliament. We will lead it. We will fight them, not fight them by physical, but whatever wisdom and knowledge that is at our disposal to make this country a better Ghana for all of us. So shall it be. We will do that. So I just want him to know that we are not being too political. And Afenyo Makin is doing his job. And I said it here again that, look, most of the times, governance, parliament is a different thing altogether. If you rise on the floor of parliament and the majority leader or the minority leader rises, attention will be given to him. And there are certain issues that if you, the backbencher, you rise, the speaker might not call you. So most of the talking that you see Makin doing, he's just doing it on behalf of the minority because it's not all the time you get opportunity to say something. The speaker will not even mind you. So the front bench is always given attention. So it makes him look as if he's over-talking. I agree that he's been in the talking and people think, this man likes talking, this man likes talking. But actually, that is the work of the minority. Let the minority have their say. And then the majority, you will have your way. If it's time for voting, that's where your way comes. But if it comes for talking, you cannot take that away from us. We will talk.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So they will definitely talk. Yeah. Prof, you want to say anything before we move on to our next topic? I'll read some messages. And
I think I need to make a quick remark.
Yes, I have.
Let Prof finish.
Said, I don't want a situation where we make this Galamsey fight about the number of NDC people in it and the number of...
Prof, is that not what eventually we're going to be seeing?
Is this...
We've been there before. We've seen this before.
This happening, and he rightly said something about looking at the nature of mining that is taking place there. That is where I think we have to be looking into. And even if people are in there with licenses to mine, were there any methods ascribed to those who were given licenses? Because we can't just give you a license to go and destroy environment. If we say go and mine, it means that we should be telling people what method they should use. So those that have licenses there, and I want these licenses to be reviewed, and let's look at their concessions, how they have mined those areas, and we have to hold them accountable for reclamation of the lands. So I want this law to be passed. Once we try to limit the president from issuing licenses and maybe people who abuse eventually, we should look at those we have already assigned. How are they mining? And then we know them, we know their resources, we know the wealth they have extracted from this forest. If we think there's the need to significantly invest to reclaim, not only reclamation, but to restore lives. Because once you enter there, communities that depend on the forest lose their livelihood. That is why the young people keep coming into mining, because they are losing their livelihoods. So once we know you have contravened the regulations and you have not followed, laid down environmental protection principles, we come after you, take your resources, reclaim the forest, restore livelihoods. That's the only way we can genuinely fight Galamsey. It's not about fighting over who is doing it and who is not. I know definitely people will do it from both sides. The young people go in there as a means of survival. So how are we going to resettle them, restore them, and get them to believe in something else apart from mining? That's what we want to do. But I don't want us to go there. They are now NDC members doing Galamsey. I don't think that helps the problem.
Very well. Rich, do that with me.
Yes, so that's, I think the Prof is right. Galamsey, as we are talking about, it's been too politicized. As Honorable Nyendam rightly mentioned, that he knows that the NDC people have taken over because they are in charge. It clearly means that when the NPP was in government, they were...
It's widely reported. Even your news, it's something that has been widely reported. So you shouldn't be alarmed.
No, so what it means that it was when NPP was in government, they were doing illegal mining. So NDC has come and it's taken over.
That's why you promised your boys.
So that's what.
That's why you promised. It is a promise you've given to them.
There. So yeah, and then if you have a president who feel that this must stop, if you have a president who is having the will to fight all this, and they say, look, let us go to this tangent, and we'll be able to make sure that we restrict people of giving licenses. President Danko Akufo-Addo signed so many mining contracts for a lot of people, including the party people, regional executive, constituency executive in this country. We complained. So if President John Dramani Mahama wants to stop it, I think we should support it, and we'll make sure it works. So as to now that you know that the NDC party people have taken over, I have no idea. Maybe he was into it, and they have taken over his side, and he's worried. I don't know. So we are making sure that we stop all these things, and we'll make sure Galamsey stop. That is the most important thing. We shouldn't blame anybody. We should approach President John Dramani Mahama, and we'll move forward, and all these manners will stop. He knows, as he's talking about. Most of our brothers, as he's talking about, after secondary school, they are all lost in the communities, in Galamsey areas, trying to find a daily bread. So we should look at how we can stop all this and bring jobs to our people, let the people also get jobs to do, get quality education, and tomorrow they can also sit here and be proud like we are doing today. That is the most important thing we should be looking at now, and stop politicizing everything.
Okay, I'll try and get some messages, and then we'll move on to the issue of the U.S. aid and what the finance minister intends to do with filling in the gap. Now, this one says it's from Mesa Majid and it's from Bichim, Toronto. It says the reduction in fuel prices is due to good governance. We are waiting for fuel stations to reduce their fuel prices. Resetting Ghana is a reality and not an empty slogan. My regards to Honorable Ishak Dauda, popularly known as Ulman in the Asutifi South constituency. This one says, good morning, Joy Prime. I thought Galamsey would halt immediately. NDC resumed power almost 3 months down the line, and NDC couldn't stop Galamsey upon all the shouts. Both NDC and MPP are profiting from it. That's why the political will can't be exhibited in halting it. NDC, please stop the rhetorics, lamentations, and hide and seek. Fix the menace because you are in power with all the resources. MPP couldn't stop it. That's why Ghanaians voted for you. Blue Water Guards is just a job for the boys. Anyway, Mahama must create jobs, and that's one of the strategies. Meanwhile, doom so happens at my place every day, and that's Emmanuel Meg Gonyue from KJ in the whole West District. Okay. Let me move on to this one over here. It says, good morning, KMJ. Please tell the MPP man he should keep quiet. You people, he's saying some of these things. He hasn't said any problem about this constituency before on national television. Now that he is in opposition, he can say anything. What did he do when his government was in power? My greetings to Madam Jane Williams, aka number 9, and that's from Makofi Darko in Cape Coast. If he has a pressing issue in his constituency, you think he shouldn't talk about it. Good morning, KMJ. Please tell the NDC man in your studio and his leaders that it will be in their own interest to keep mute over the Galamsey menace and get to work. We had all this said and did clearly against the Nanado government whilst they were in opposition. If all we are hearing from Galamsey is true, then the Galamsey is getting out of hands. Let's speak truth to power. Amino in Ansawam. Now, Alaji Hamso in Pekfam says that, good morning, my brother. I totally agree with the Honorable Nyindam that the right thing should be done. He also keep on saying that we should let the right thing in the interest of the country. But the question here is that, what was the sense in passing the LI 2462 in the first place to our mining in the forest in the first place? Was the passing of the LI 2462 in the interest of Ghanaians? Honorable Nyindam should answer that question. My brother, I think that after the repeal of this LI, the government should move ahead to declare a state of emergency those areas and stop these criminals once and for all, or will regret it in the future. Let me go to Musa Abator in Sawase. It says, micro minority can't set a trap for President Mahama. He's an experienced politician who knows what's right. His focus isn't on building hospitals for MPs, but on building the capacity of citizens and creating jobs to alleviate the unprecedented hardship caused by the Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government. He's already taken positive steps, and we should support and pray for him to reset Ghana on the path of prosperity. Okay. President Mahama sacking the IGP Dampare at this time is just to divert attention from the empty budget. We will continue to tell Ghanaians the emptiness of the 2025 budget regards to Honorable Sulemana Musa, aka Political, and that's Master Planner Junior in Kintampo. Now, so this Boko conflict, how much will it cost the country to install CCTV cameras in Boko and its environs to monitor these unidentified murderers? I don't get it. Owusu from Kumasi. That works? Profit works?
I don't
Never heard. With all the things we've spoken about, I've never heard anybody say a CCTV camera should be installed in places where we can. I think this is the first time I'm hearing something like that. Changing the IGP Dampare is President Mohammed's greatest mistake. I voted for him, but I will not forgive him for this decision. It is like we are allowing Barnabas on our streets instead of Jesus. This is sad. Patrick in Accra. Patrick, what do you mean by Barnabas instead of Jesus? Anything we don't know? Greetings, KMJ, please. What prevents the NDC guy to categorically say, let's ban Galamsey now? He has forgotten so soon that just about 4 months ago, he was in the same studio trumpeting to ban Galamsey. He should be bold now and declare state of emergency against Galamsey or bow down his head in shame. Nana in Aguna Suedru sent in that. Let me go to this one over here. Says, good morning. Some people don't want the poor Ghanaians to prosper. They are bent on lies and propaganda to tactically destroy the economy and the social life of the people. All right, let me go to this one. It says, good morning, KMJ and the panelists. Please tell to the NPP rep, we understand that they have to put the majority on their toes, but sometimes Afenyo Markin talks too much. Hey, Afenyo. Skin pain people are now talking. It's well. Letitia Ayombil in Tema sent in that. Okay. This one says, good morning, KMJ. It is rather unfortunate that people who attacked the previous government about illegal mining today have gotten an appointment and decided to remain quiet because their mouths are full. I have regretted voting for the NDC. Mark from Telensi already. Good morning, KMJ. Does the Honorable MP for Kandaya want to say their boys were in the field doing the Galamsey when they were in power? This is confession. Stephen Opoku Saki in Michelle Camp says, stopping the president from allowing people to mine in the forest enough. Let's be serious and respect the good citizen of Ghana. All right, so you're asking a big question over there. Last son, Sese from Zenith Central says, good morning to everyone. Galamsey is a deadly canker which doesn't know any party color, whether blue or green, and the contaminated water, if not tackled, will clear all of us, including the newly recruited guards, if they allow themselves to be corrupted. I believe that His Excellency JDM and the Land and Natural Resources Minister would not fail Ghanaians, and they cannot afford to fail Ghanaians because he is in to leave a good legacy. The U.S. court has exposed our Supreme Court of Justice, where the rich and powerful persons always go behind the law to win cases against the poor and the privileged in the society. And I'm sure you're referring to the Anas and Honorable Kennedy issue. Now, this one says, there's a need for pre-laying procedure. The NDC should keep quiet for the minority to remind them on their previous comments on illegal mining. I salute the People's MP, Honorable Matthew Enyindam. You always speak for all and for all, which means you represent Ghana, not only in Pandai. From Mayebi Thomas inside Kumdi. Okay. Kumdi. Okay. The constituents are represented.
Is it a constituency, that community that Joanne, you did some documentary about some dilapidated school?
No, yeah, it's not.
That was Sabonjira.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's also in the same constituency.
Yes.
No, it's a sister constituency.
Oh, okay. It's not Panda constituency.
No. We have another Sabonjira within that constituency, but this story was aired in a different constituency with the same name.
Okay. The last one I'll do says that, good morning, KMJ. How can a serious government train party foot soldiers to monitor our forest reserves when the whole military couldn't solve it? It is clear that Galamsey will chase the NDC out of power in 2028. Indeed, to fight Galamsey. That's a mark from Telensi. All right, so that'll be the last comment that I'll read. We'll move on to talk about our second topic. We'll come back to read some of your messages again, so please do send them in, especially on Facebook as well. I'll be reading some of your messages over there, and so do and send them to us on Facebook, on Instagram, on X as well, and you can also do so on our WhatsApp line. Now, the uncapping the NHIS levy is enough to address U.S. aid funding gap, says the finance minister. Now, we are raising over 100 million Ghana cedis, to start with. We're looking at 156 million US dollars. But let's take a listen to the finance minister at the floor of parliament when he was talking about that issue.
Given the reality of the funding gap of 156 million US dollars, the government would take the following measures to close the funding gap. The Speaker, as part of the resources that will be made available as a result of the uncapping of the National Health Insurance levy, part of it will be used to close the gap created following the suspension of the USAID funding. Additionally, an amount of 100 million US Ghana cedis is being allocated in the goods and services budget of the Ministry of Health under the expenditure line Global Fund. This will be used to procure vaccines that hitherto were being funded by the USAID.
All right, so that was the finance minister, Dr. Abdul Forsen, on the floor of parliament on what he intends to do to close the gap when it comes to USAID and what, we're all supposed to know in terms of how we'll be able to achieve that. Let me start off with Prof.
Okay. Yes, I would say it came to me as surprising that the U.S. would suddenly withdraw funding from such important development assistance across the globe. But we also have ourselves to blame that over the years we allow such sensitive sectors of our lives to be run by charity. And issues like providing vaccines, HIV/AIDS medication and the rest, no matter who is coming to give you the money, you should have had mechanisms that allow them to streamline this money into government budget. It should be our responsibility. If we had that system in place, we wouldn't have what we are going through. But yes, that shortfall in these dire economic times is definitely going to have an impact on the already struggling National Health Insurance program. And yes, uncapping it will make sure that there are more resources for focusing on the health issues. But this huge hole we are creating is going to create a problem. I understand, and I want to commend the finance minister for being innovative, at least to realize that some of the activities that the USAID assistance was financing are very key, and we could try to take up some of them. But I don't think that we should, we will be able to cater for everything, because many of these things were done also in line with USA funding principles and what US wanted to do in line with US interests. So there's a need for us to look at it and look at what addresses national issues and then send our resources there. But it is saddening, as I said, that we allowed this thing to get this far, that we never thought at a particular point in time that one day if USA gets out of here, what happens? It is not only here. From here, there could be so many other withdrawals, funding cuts from maybe our EU partners and others. We should sit down and begin to think of indigenizing some of these assistance. Those things that border on people's life, health, we should, as a nation, have them under our control and at least regulate them. I'm particularly worried. It's not only even the health sector. The hardship it has spread across this country is massive. People suddenly have to go home. They've lost their jobs overnight. And I think it gives the U.S. a very bad name across the globe. And I think that a country that goes around preaching Christianity, bringing the Bible, can't be that sensitive. A government that is supposed to be pro-evangelical, pro-Christianity, suddenly withdraws medicine from people who need it to survive, and you think, okay, it's an issue of economy, it's America first, and so on. I think that is a very low point in American history. And
they had some justification to some points. I mean, some of the revelations that came with regards to what some of the monies were used for, including funding the Boko Haram and all that in Nigeria. We saw some of the revelations that came out of it. It's not proper that they decide that, well, if you're not using the money for what we want you to use it for, then it's best we withdraw them. Yes, in such circumstances, they say it's a freeze. You review, and then you collect. You don't just freeze it and people are dying. I agree with President Donald Trump. I myself have stopped consulting for NGOs. I just took the principle because I did one, and they wanted me to adjust the report in such a way that magnified their impact. It's like they are mining my integrity to keep their funding going. You have the NGOs that are really ravaging northern Ghana, exploiting the people, building houses and hotels while people are suffering. So I agree with the president to a certain degree that this aid vehicle has become a means of corruption and a means of funding illicit activities. But given the fact that people who lose their life won't have the opportunity to live it over again, we should have tempered this high-handed approach with some amount of humanity, in the sense that you could stop some things, put in some regulations, put in some checks and balances whilst you review the process to withdraw vaccines and other things to developing countries. I think is on a very, very inhuman level, and we need to call it what it is. But I think I'm very happy with the Minister of Finance that he has at least tried to do something. We should find a way of institutionalizing this so that we take over some of these activities and then try to finance them locally. But I think it's a wake-up call to all of us. Very well. Thank you very much, Prof. Let me come to you, Honorable. You think we'll be able to sustain this moving forward? Is the way to go?
What choice do we have? Why should you have a choice in this matter? I am a fan of Trump, to be very honest with you.
And it's a special reason.
I am a fan of Trump. Although the excesses are there, but I am a fan of Trump. And when he was coming for his second bid, I always prayed with him to win. I like politicians who are ready to speak their mind. I like those kind of politicians. And Trump is one of those. That's just the reason why maybe I like him. In the case of Russia, the way he treated that one, I wasn't too happy with that. But
some of his excesses are...
Yes, these are some of his excesses, where the way he spoke to the Ukrainian president, all those, I wasn't too happy with that one. But my brother, I agree with Prof to some extent. What is US aid? Is the taxpayer or the tax that US generates in their country. For some reason, they decided to support vulnerable or developing countries. So he comes today and says, no, I think that we've done enough for you guys. We want to see how we can withdraw this aid. It clearly tells us that it's a wake-up call for every country. We have to sit up as a nation. Trump is just giving us a signal that if we want to over-depend on other nations, one day we will get up and will not be able to support this country. I sympathize with those sisters, mothers, fathers, who, for some reasons, the withdrawal of this aid will affect them negatively. I sympathize with them. But it is our responsibility as a nation to plan and take care of some of these sensitive areas. It is our responsibility, collective responsibility. So what the finance minister has done, that's why I say, what choice does he have? He has no choice. We have to plan and take care of our nation. Uncapping the
NHIS
funds, get fund, and all those things. You see, all finance ministers enjoy some kind of discretionary powers. Okay, all finance ministers. So this procedure to uncap the NHIA brings in some money. And I always ask people, when the funds were capped, the money that we generated from the capping, did we give it to somebody? It was the same finance ministers that were using it. Yeah. They were using it at their discretionary ways. Maybe after capping, they used some of the money in finding some particular projects. But in this case, the uncapping funds, the minister is saying that, look, I want to use it for only health-related matters. It's not like there is new money that is coming in. This one is just a redirection or realign of our expenditure, which I think that we are all out for it. It is a good thing. We will support him. Even when the capping law came, the finance minister comes with it. You may disagree with him, okay, but he thinks that this is the best way I want to generate funding to solve this particular problem. So I'll give a cap to the NHIA, and some other, the excess money will be used to do A, B, C, D. If you agree with him, you give him that approval. He has come in with a different approach, thinking that, no, I want to uncap all these funds, and so that I can use the money strictly under the health sector. And I think that that's what he has done. And I don't think there's any fight in this matter. But they have to be committed. You see, there is one thing about getting funds and there's another thing about being committed. Is he really committed in making sure that all the levies that we take under the NHIS, those monies will stay there? If there's pressure that, excuse me to say, salaries are not being paid, you need money to pay salaries. Urgently to pay salary. Is he going to sweep some of those monies?
A dedicated money for that?
Yes, you see, that's where normally the problem comes. It's not like, it's like you sit down as a family man, you have your home, you have budget for every sector in your house, but you realize that for some reason, your child is seriously sick. Meanwhile, the money you put down was for school fees. You go pick that money to take care of your sick child. Thinking that maybe you get some money and then you come and then put it down back for your school fees. If you don't get it, then when school fees come, you become irresponsible parent. Yeah. These are some of the ways the finance ministers throw in and use their discretionary powers. But I think that to uncap it makes a lot of funds available to the health sector.
He thinks it's even enough to address that particular issue.
And for that one, when Ken and the other ministers came with this capping, they convinced us how they were going to use this money prudently. By the end of the day, people are complaining, people are crying. But I think that it is one good thing, the way he said it, the NHIA need a lot of funding, the USAID vacuum has to be filled, and I think that his approach is the only approach for now. There is no any other monies anywhere coming, so I just pray and hope that he applies it timely and judiciously. That's all I will say. Okay, for now.
Very well, thank you, Honorable. Let me move on to Richard. Richard.
KMG, I think uncapping is the only way to solve our health problem as it stands now. You know, USAID has played a major role in our health sector. Being it drugs, water, health education, they've played a major role. And that's what we are solely relying on. Because we get about $150 million every year from the USAID to support our health sector.
156.
$56 million to support our health sector. Trump said, no, he's not going to give us again. Should we allow our people in Bunache or somebody in Bimbela or Yendi to die because Trump is no more supporting us to make sure we prevent our health issues in the country? No. So the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Finance, and other stakeholders doing the budgetary preparation have realized that under the MPP, they cap NHIS. And you recall, that was why the issues was that many people can't even go to the hospitals. When they say when you go to the hospital, they will prescribe drug for you, they'll go to the pharmacy to buy. Because when you cap, and sometimes you might not be able to pay your service providers. And even the term of capping, most of the service providers have even have to withdraw. And those agitations have been come, we debated here. Now, the governing body, like the USAID, that was supporting us to even bring some drugs like antiretrovirals of the HIV and some vaccines and other things in this country, anti-snake, and other drugs that comes to this one. And I think they even do mega in provision of water in the community, in some communities. Yeah. That's global community. Yeah. And they're saying they're going to do all this is for us. KMG, we must be independent enough to take decisions to be able to rescue our citizens. And that is why, in the wisdom of President John Dramani Mahama and his Minister of Finance, said, look, let us uncap the National Health Insurance Levy. And not upon only uncapping it, we are making a budgetary allocation of 100 million Ghana cedi for goods and services at the Ministry of Health, so that we'll be able to get enough to support our people in the country. I agree that getting the funds is not a problem. As to how you spend it, it's a major and huge...
It's always been the issue.
Issue. But Kemji, trust me, if you know Dr. Atufosin very well, he's a very disciplined financial minister. He's not a minister...
According to you?
No, that's a fact. He was a deputy minister before. You saw he's acting in charge of finance. And he's been a ranking on finance at the minister in opposition. You saw how he's been able to help the MPP, even try to manage some aspect of finance, even though they were not listening much to him. You saw his act. And today is the Minister of Finance. I have confidence in him. And I know President Mahama, who is very disciplined and passionate about this country. That any penny, any revenue that will raise from the National Health Insurance Levy, we will use it prudently. We will manage it to make sure every Ghanaian get quality health care. Kenji, I know about health. I have happened to work in the theater at the St. Joseph Hospital some years back before. I know sometimes when patients come to the hospital, the frustration they go through, and if you don't have enough drugs, if you don't have enough equipment to serve them, they end up by losing their lives. And basically, in the communities where all of us are from Northern region now, where there's hard labor, the most common conditions there is hernia, which is basically not a sickness, it's a basic condition. People stay with it and get very strangulated with it. I've always advocated that all this we are talking about, uncapping this will get enough. With the 100 million Ghana cedi for goods and services, it's enough. Again, the major problem for us as Ghanaians is that we don't invest in health preventive. And that is where it's leading us to all that we are finding ourselves to. So I will always tell government that let us take a huge amount of money into health preventive. And when we have to educate people about their health, they know the importance about their health. KMG, we will not spend much in health care. And these are the measures we should be looking at. I think the Minister of Health should come up with a concept. Then we'll find a basic way in public health. We'll find a basic way. The other time, somebody was saying that, this agency, why will government have to set up that agency? They say mortuary and funeral agency. It doesn't make sense. They didn't know that this is the most basic, huge, most sensitive institution we should be looking at in this country. KMG, look at when we have people with conditions. We live in the congested areas where hepatitis B is very common. Somebody died of hepatitis B because the diagnosis system didn't work. The whole family wants to come and be holding him, handling them, giving him praises. You go bury him, the following day, the condition that become escalated. You see people in this country, this is a cemetery, this is a pure water factory, and people are drinking it. You go to areas where congested people are doing funeral, dead bodies are lying down, and people are eating in front of the dead body. You don't even know the conditions that kill the person. So I believe that we should look at more into health preventive. And we are able to have health preventive. We need a little, a minute little, to be able to have health issues. You go to other areas in this country, I've asked people, you go to the gym or early morning, you wake up, you are doing a workout, somebody will say you are too no. He doesn't even understand the importance of it. But when the person, I don't know, you do workouts, I know you go to gym, and in the morning you go to workout, you will see elderly people with conditions are now working on the street to correct it. You don't even see the young ones. How do you influence them? How do you educate them in alcoholism? How do you educate them in uncultured behaviors? Those are the things we should be investing in. It's not when somebody's condition has been worsened that it becomes kidney issue, that we are not going to look for money to go and cure them. It's not when the person's hernia becomes strangulated, which is know that even much of the hard labor that you do will lead you to this, where people didn't get good water, that lead them to typhoid perforation. Or some situation lead you to surgical emergency like ectopic, then you have rupture and all those things. Then we now run, and a little we have, we invest into it. So KMG, it's not that. And I can assure you, when every Ghanaian pay his tax well, and we uncap the NHIL levy, we will be able to get enough. And a little will have about $100 million for goods and services. We'll be able to we'll have enough to make sure that our health sector will be secured. Without health and agriculture, we as a nation are going to be doomed. And so I think the government of the day has taken a bold decision and a tactical way to be able to resolve this problem. And that's President John Dramani Mahama for you.
Well, Honorable is laughing. Now, DC Note 1 says that, good morning, my name is Gabriel Ingda from Kandai District. Hey, your people are now everywhere, and we thank God for that. Keep the good work done always, and we are proud of you people. Okay, so that's Honorable's constituency representing very, 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 very large. Now, Musa Enabatu says that minority can't set a trap for President Mahama. He's an experienced politician who knows what's right. His focus isn't on building hospitals for MPs, but on building the capacity of citizens and creating jobs to alleviate the unprecedented hardship caused by the Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government. He's already taken positive steps, and we should support and pray for him to reset Ghana on the path of prosperity. Now, Same Boakye and Saman Kese also writes, President Akufo-Addo, stop galamsey now. We will continue this fight, and we won't continue the struggle until our water bodies are protected. These are the words of Sam George, and the then opposition leader John Mahama told us point blank that he would not hesitate to fight galamsey by way of using AI. Now, what has changed today that they are now using blue water guards? Even the men with arms couldn't stop it. The future is pregnant. Mahama, stop galamsey now. Hashtag. And Same Boakye says, President Akufo-Addo, stop galamsey now. Oh, okay, I think I've read that already. Let me go to Aaron Babakoko, Commissar, and it says, good morning to you. One of the most promising methods for combating corruption is the use of technology. The digital age has ushered in innovations that enhance transparency and accountability. For instance, blockchain technology offers a secure way to manage transactions and record data, making it virtually impossible to alter or manipulate information without detection. Governments can employ blockchain in public procurement processes to ensure transparency and reduce opportunities for corrupt practices. Countries like Estonia have set remarkable examples by utilizing e-governance systems that allow citizens to track government spending in real time, significantly reducing corruption levels. Okay, thanks for sending in that. Let me go to Shaban Abisco. Mumuni says, good morning, KMJ. I salute my able MP, Honorable Matthew Nyendam, for his eloquence on national issues. The budget is really empty because it does not resonate with what the NDC promised the good people of Ghana. Where is the suffering where's the suffering they promised to eliminate? Prices of goods are still increasing. Transport fare increasing. Galamsey are still growing with impunity under JM. This 3 months in power shows a government of hopelessness. And that's from Shaban Momini in Pandai. Okay, so pretty much that will be all the message we have on Facebook. And I think that we owe the people of Pandai some thanks this morning. They've actually represented very well this morning in sharing their thoughts. on the show. That's really a good one. Anyway, we're wrapping up, so I don't know if we want to comment on anything shortly before we wrap up.
Well, I think that just like we've all said, for health matters, they are very important matters, to be honest with you. There is no way you can politicize some aspects of life. This pullout of U.S. aid is a major dent to all of us. I don't know who is suffering today close to me, who was a beneficiary of U.S. aid. Same way Prof and my good brother there. It's unfortunate that, look, Trump has decided that, look, we're not going to support in this regard. It's unfortunate. But it's also a lesson for all of us to learn. I mean, that's one thing I want.
You think it's timely?
They've been, U.S. has been in this
way
country.
before.
It's been. I think they've stayed over 40 years in doing all this.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
They've made this.
My only worry is that the signals did not come clear. He should have signaled that, okay, maybe for this period, we're going to pull out. That will help beneficiaries to prepare adequately. But it became like, oh, Charlie, a fiat. We've taken our thing. Find a way of taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's the only aspect I felt is not the best. But we need, as a nation, to sit up. We must see how best we can generate tax in this country. And for the politics that we do, we don't do this, tax on us is too much. Nobody is happy paying tax. Nobody, including you. It doesn't matter your level of education, unless the formal sector. By the time your salary comes, they've taken it. Yeah. So whether you are happy or you are not happy, they've taken it. But to honestly get up and say that I'm going to pay tax, even in the Bible, people complain about payment of tax. I will urge the finance minister. I know what I'm saying. He should, as important as I think, not try to joke with the uncapping funds that will be available to the health insurance sector. He spoke about it. He's made a dedication of 100 million. It might not be enough, but the problem that we have in this country with finance ministers, it is about the releases of the fund. You see, it is not about not generating funds. The little that even we generate, if we maintain timely releases of funds, our health sectors will be fine. Even the capping that was done, the challenge there was that the little money that were supposed to be going there weren't going. So the health sector started complaining. It is not about even the capping, but sometimes the discretion that the finance ministers have, like I gave some earlier example. Yeah. If we don't take time,
we'll get back to the same.
We'll get back to the same point, and then we'll come back here on this your nice table, and we'll talk. These are early days. Yeah. We all support this government to succeed. Majority, we are all Ghanaians. There's nothing you can do. 4 years is for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. 4 years is for them. It is their responsibility to govern us. But we'll start looking at the governors in 2-3 years' time, whether they are governing us well or they are not governing us well. But for now, hi, we're all with them.
Country broken, we all days. The problem.
Yes.
You want any remarks and then we'll...
Yes, I'll be generic about my closing remarks, and I think that if I were in the Ministry of Finance, I probably told the same line like the
finance minister is doing right now.
We are in a... we can't run away from the fact that we have an apocalyptic situation as far as our economy is concerned. Others just sit down here, NDC did that, NPP did that, and if you look at the sheer numbers alone, that we are going to be paying about 22.5% of our GDP over the next 4 years to debt. That means that even if we are growing at 5% every year, that is going to go into debt servicing. It's a huge challenge. So to still have the finance minister finding innovative ways of tackling our holes, like the removal of the betting tax, the e-levy, and all those ones. For me, the stroke of genius was the issue of the leveraging the tax refund account to plug the hole in the removal of the betting tax. I have a different opinion when it comes to the betting tax. I think that we need to flip it around, make betting expensive. It is not an avenue for promoting young people. So instead of taxing the wins, we should now look at how we tax the wages themselves so that we can make betting more expensive and maybe. But I want to say that it is a way to go. Can we look at how we can domesticate most of the items in our budget, try to solve them from local resources. And any aid we are getting, we channel it into other areas apart from the very sensitive issues. So I would just say that it's early days, but you can know how a game will start if you play well. And if you score very early, you put your opponents in under pressure. I think that President Mahama and Honorable Kasliatu Forsen have taken an early lead. And if they manage the team well, they could just pull a very huge victory. That's what I would say.
That's some confidence level over there. Rich?
Yes, so as Prof said, I want to assure Prof and those good people of Ghana that we are very concerned about them. So this current government is resetting the country, and we all build it together. It's a collective effort. As Honorable rightly said, our revenue to GDP is one of the worst in West Africa. 16% for revenue to 16% revenue to GDP, which is a very, very huge problem. Tax system is the only way we will be able to manage our economy. But I believe that with the 24-hour economic policy we are bringing, there will be enough jobs, and when a lot of people get jobs to pay, to work, to do, there will be more of a revenue, and a lot will pay tax. And resetting is all these things we are trying to put it together. So let's build it together. Let's be one people. Let us be Ghanaians. And when we are Ghanaians and we are responsible Ghanaians, as President John Dramani Mahama has urged, that today, there's nothing like NDC MPP. All we know is Ghana. And so when we want to move Ghana, we'll move together as Ghanaians. So I want to urge Honorable Nyendam as well. It's a message. He's been a leader in Parliament before. He's still powerful in minority. Let's come together. Let us build good laws. There are so many so many amendments that we have put in Parliament to amend some acts. And as you are saying, Revenue Development Act, that we want to amend it to make sure that the mining sectors will increase the revenue because they pay huge and will get lesser. So all these are the things we are looking at. And we talk about this Trump issue. I want to urge all of us. I have happened to have done some research, and I know Star Ghana, I don't know whether you know Star Ghana, and other agencies are also helping. So members of parliament, stakeholders can put in good proposals from their constituency. They have huge pounds lying down there. They want to do more of health productive, health preventive, and all those things in their communities. Put in proposals, get the funds, help the government. When you were able to lobby from the private sectors to come in on board, government doesn't spend huge in where we are suffering from. So with that, we'll be able to resolve this problem because we came to meet an empty coffers as a nation. Okay, that's our major problem as we are now.
Who told you?
Empty coffers. And if we don't come together...
The MPP disagrees with
AKMG, 1.7 billion from independent power.
You are not giving the correct figure.
US dollar, we need to pay them. KMG, 68 million ECG. We need to pay them. KMG, about 32 billion from Cocoa Board. We need to pay them. KMG, 5.6 billion for road fund. A lot. So it's a problem. As a nation, that's what we came to meet.
So are we getting back on the lamentation?
It is not a lamentation. We are taking the responsibility.
Asking us not to.
KMG, we are taking the responsibility. That's why we say we are building together. We need to let Ghanaians know. Because you can't.
Why don't we keep the
You can't leave all these holes.
You didn't know that. You didn't know this.
We knew there was a crack.
You didn't know.
But we didn't know there was a dip like this.
You see, you are contradicting your chairman.
No,
I said this excuses should not be made.
So, but we are saying that we are taking the responsibility.
It didn't be made anywhere.
We are taking the responsibility. But Ghanaians must know this is what we came to meet. But in 90 days, in our social contract, KMG, we are trying. we've been able to look for a source of funding for the free SHS, which was not the...
Who told you?
We are
this kind of your
health insurance.
You are not in government.
We've been able to make sure...
kind of your unpopular kind of this thing.
We've been able to allocate funds to get... Look, I am from Bunache, a Konkoma young boy from Bunache. When my sisters when they were in school, when they get they have their period, they don't go to school because it was something like...
Why, you couldn't buy them pad?
There was not... Look, look, do you know how many people can afford pad?
You said your sisters. I'm just saying you couldn't buy them.
I was in school with them. I was a kid then.
Okay.
Came to today. We've been able to allocate huge funds to make sure we get sanitary pads for our sisters in school. We've been able to uncap student loan transfer so that persons with disability, at least persons with disability, to get access to free tertiary education. We care for these people in this country. If you look at the policies we are bringing on board, the 24-hour economy policy, the document has been laid in Parliament, minorities running away from it. We want to beg them to come on board. It's to create jobs for the people in your constituency.
Who told you that?
You are rejecting. You never made a comment when they were doing the briefings.
If you are briefing people, can they make comments?
We've been able to make sure that, as I'm talking to you now, the Road and Highways Minister, even though he has gone there, he's been able to go around looking at projects, roads that were cut for 8 years that have not been completed.
Is he done with that? I think it's been going around for a while now.
A lot that have come on board. and so that we care, we are running one of the lenient government ever since since Adam, from Kwame Nkrumah till now. The lenient government and a very substantial, credible people with technocrats in places. And so Kenyans must bear with us. We are there for them. We came to promise them. They gave us the mandate, and we will deliver for them. So we are not going to lament for anything. But so when minority and the MPP are trying to throw dust there and here and there, they should stay calm. 57% of them have confidence in us. They should stay calm. We will deliver for them. Ghana will work again. Everybody will wake up and go to work. And that's the Ghana we want to build for them.
And I'm sure the minority...
You know, he's made so many sweeping statements.
No, but
even himself, the 24 hours, he doesn't understand. Even him.
How can I understand?
When Guzi came to the floor...
I want to say here.
Half of Prof, I'll like then I'll come, yes. Simple.
Recently, I got sick and then I had to go to the doctor for the first time. Each time I go, they test me again, tell me of the problem, and they give me medication. It is normal for us to talk about the problem. Anytime you don't talk about a problem, you don't solve it well.
Okay.
I'm shocked that all of us are buying in, rush for the problem, solutions, and we don't diagnose the problem. They are using us in schools. Ghana is being used as an example of how to manage a developing country. So if others are learning from ourselves, no one should tell us that we shouldn't talk about the problem. Lamentations in the Bible. God, who is God, wrote Lamentations.
That's fine.
Recollecting everything that past leaders have done to teach. So I want us to not to run away from it.
Don't run away.
Okay. Yeah,
I just want to ask Prof. I want to ask Prof one thing. Prof he may be older than all of us. In the Fourth Republic, has he ever seen a government that has taken over and said, I have inherited a very strong economy? Has he ever seen that? Prof, have you ever seen that? You haven't seen that. Even when your mama was taken over from Mills, he complained he inherited the economy that is full of bones.
Oh, he never said that.
That is what he said. Even when he was inheriting...
He said the meat is down to the bone.
Yeah, that the meat is down to the bone. When he was inheriting his own... Man,
but you told you could use
some of these complaints. Half of these complaints, they are normal. Yes. But I'm just telling him that even when Guzi, who is shepherding the 24 hours, when he came to the floor of Parliament, he said even he has not the policy. They are still even working on it, and he will bring it back again.
But you need an amendment of the law.
So I'm just letting him know that even Guzi himself, when he came, He wasn't too sure of what he presented.
Oh, how can I say that?
So he shouldn't tell us that. We listened to him.
Okay.
That's what he said. That's what he said. We're not commenting on commenting.
Good morning. Good morning. Tell Erastus Asaredongo to take care of his life and his family. He shouldn't sacrifice his life for this nation because it isn't worth it. All the civil society organizations and individuals who were fighting this battle with him have been sorted out. The NDC guys should keep quiet. Ghanaians have regretted voting for NDC. Aminusa Sulemana from Tolun. My regards to leader Habib Idrisu.
Good
morning. The uncapping of some of the levies is a good one, but not that said. The previous government was very prompt to claim payment of service providers. So I believe that the uncapping of NHIA, if the NHIA continues with the prompt payment to service provider and improves on other aspects, will help build more membership and confidence in the authority. My greetings to Honorable MP for Pandai. Thanks, Nontundo. And then I'll do the last one and then we'll go. My time is up. This one says, good morning. Why is the micro minority making noise? You're not ashamed of what you did for 8 years. So you are just, you're not ashamed of what you did for 8 years. So you're just trying to disrupt proceedings. Okay. There are a lot of your messages. I'll say a big thank you to you, but I'm unable to read the remaining ones. So please forgive us. Tomorrow we'll try and do some of your messages, some more of your messages. And let me say a big thank you to my guest in the studio this morning, Professor Michael Ayam joined us here on the show. He's an applied economist and a lecturer at UDS. And also Richard Manurube joins us this morning as well, NDC communication team member, and also a very full force when it comes to implementation of what
he wants to go for primaries. You want to go for primaries next year?
No, I've gone for primaries before.
Okay,
but there's no vacancy for primaries now.
You want to give Joffrey the opportunity.
And a big thank you to Honorable Matthew Nyindam. He's a former Majority Chief Whip and Member of Parliament for Bandai, also joining us this morning. Gentlemen, thank you so much for the time. I'm grateful that you're able to join us here on the show. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Candice Kedisi, Franco, we had the news flash this morning. We're grateful. Make sure you go and grab your phones, your television, your CCTV cameras, all the gadgets that you need. Once you walk to Franco Trading Enterprise, you're good to go. Trust me on that one. And you can also check them out. The number is on your screen. You can call them and ask all the questions you want to ask. And the website is also available, www.francotrading.com. And we're on Google Play Store. It's Franco Trading app, and you're good to go. There's more coming up here on the show. We've got some trends for you. Rosalind Felly has got some entertainment later in the day on the show. Nathaniel Ato will be coming through as well with the latest update in the world of sports. These are more coming up here. My name is Kim.
What's Asidua?
Asidua, you know she lost the
yeah.
They had the 1 week last week, and she's taking some time off. Yeah, you know, Asidua was very close to her dad, so
yeah, everybody is close to the dad.
Yeah, a lot. So try and reach out to her.
Yeah.
That's your girl, your special girl.
That's our friend.
There's more coming up right here on the show. Please stay.
Newsflash was brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us here on the show. There's so much more to come, but right now, we want to throw the focus on sport. Everybody's talking about the Black Stars because of the major assignment that is, beckoning on Friday at the Accra Sports Stadium. Do remember that a few things have been cleared up. The stadium finally, certified to be used for that qualifier for the FIFA World Cup. Also, that the North Wing, as in the wing that is closest to the Independence Square, the upper terrace of of that wing will be closed to the public because of integrity issues. And of course, these will be addressed later on when that game is played and over. We'll be having a conversation with the National Sports Authority led by Yao Ampofo-Ankra to see what will be done to immediately address this particular matter. Also, very important to note that there will be no e-tickets for the game that will be played on Friday. And this has been made known by the spokesperson of the National Sports Authority. He says that tickets will be sold, physical tickets will be sold, so that means that people would have to make prior arrangements ahead of that game that will be played on Friday. So we'll be doing a lot in terms of previewing this game, but right now the focus will be on training. Now, there's a full complement of the squad that was invited by Coach Otuado for this particular assignment, and all the players have turned up. And of course, this also is drawing some interest from some legends, including Ghana's top scorer, all-time top scorer, Asamoah Gyan, who's also a former team captain. Well, our cameras were there to capture training from late afternoon into early evening, and we've got this to show you.
Black Stars just completed their second training session here at Accra Sports Stadium ahead of their crucial World Cup qualifier against Chad on Friday. Today was a bit different outlook and dimension as the team welcomed their captain, Jordan Ayew. The sad news is that Elisha Owusu will be out of the team due to injury, and in that matter will be replaced by Lawrence Ejekum. 23 players gathered here at Accra Sports Stadium to train with the team. In terms of training, the team engaged in 10v1 training and shooting drills as the team look forward to make it up on Friday.
It's good to have a full house here. Every manager, every coach, every gaffer would love to have a full team, especially on the second day of his training. It's a very short window, and you would want to have your full squad just to make sure that everyone acclimatizes with everything, the weather, the pitch, the environment and everything, especially with the new players coming on board. Team telepathy is important, so I think they are right. On track to beat Chad on Friday. I don't see beating Chad as a problem for these lads at all, and they may as well continue against Madagascar and Morocco come Monday.
It's a positive sign looking at the numbers, having a full house training today on day 2. Personally, I believe it's a full house, looking at how even the supporters were gearing up and hoping that the Black Stars will change the results they had in the AFCON qualifiers. We know that Otu has 2 wins in the World Cup qualifiers against Mali and Central African Republic, so hopes are high.
Some members of the Black Stars ESCO team are here in their numbers, likewise the FA president, Ket Okreku, and Hearts of Oak goalkeeper Benjamin Asari, is whom a lot of fans are singing his name here at Accra Sports Stadium. His saves and some exploits he's been displaying here is tremendous, and it's really fun watching him. Reporting from the Accra Sports Stadium, my name is Joseph Ahinga Walter.
Well, and here in the studio, my name is Nathaniel Atta, bringing you some more of the stories that we've got for you this morning in sport. Let's now talk about stadium, management. And one person who's expert at that is Anthony Baffo, the Ghanaian legend who previously served as Deputy General Secretary of the Confederation of African Football. Now, Anthony Baffo has a minimum of 40 games, 40 high-profile games, that he's managed as a general coordinator for both FIFA and the Confederation of African Football. Now, as a speaker at the Joy Sports National Sports Dialogue recently held here in the Joy Prime studio, he gave some tips about stadium management and how we have to be proactive as a collective to ensure that we're always ahead of anything that could be an occurrence that can, plague us in the future. We'll take a listen to him now.
Yes, the metals that are rusted, we can maintain them and reinforce them, revamp them to become stronger. The chemical we're using, I want to show you.
Okay.
It's neutral rust.
Okay.
661 converter.
Okay.
This chemical has been in existence for 40 years.
Oh, okay.
You can see here, we want to help the National Football Association. This we are doing free for now. Yes, it's
so you are not charging a penny from the work that you are doing. You are just doing it voluntarily.
Yeah, voluntarily, to make sure the games. This is VIP entrance. We need to put it in order so that when our people are coming, it will not look like a mess. So we saw this and said we are going to come and do it just to maintain it. So this will be here for 10 years, like I said, and you don't need any other maintenance. What you need is to apply the color. It's a primer also. You apply the color that you want, and that will help a lot.
You're starting on a very good note, and people should watch out for, positive changes. But in time, there's a lot of things that will take time, and it's a process. So the first thing is Black Stars, supported Black Stars on Friday. The rates are very reduced. Come with your family. We're making sure that the environments will be conducive for families and friends to come and have an experience. On match day, and your match, you have some entertainment. It's a gradual process. But Oba Stadium, you should feel, say, you are in a good place, you are in a safe place to be entertained, to have something to eat, to drink, every department and facet of a day out at the stadium, whether it's Accra Sports Stadium, Babayara, should be an experience for the fans. Mr. Ruby, Amumbra and Amumbe support Black Stars and have.
All right, so apologies for that. That was Ya Ampofoankra. He is the new Director General of the National Sports Authority, encouraging everyone to come and watch the game on Friday. Remember, there'll be physical tickets sold, no e-tickets. Physical tickets will be sold. And he talks about how there'll be loads and loads of reforms, especially when it comes to stadium maintenance and management. So we've been told about the efforts to renovate and also keep the stadium in shape, especially the steel and metal elements that are sometimes, prone to rust. Well, let's continue to talk about the Black Stars because the youth and the Sports and Recreation Minister is expressing, some concerns about how fans normally talk about the commitment of the players ahead of games. Well, let's take a listen to it.
Me, I've seen the players that they are motivated themselves. It is not money. If it's about money, many of them already are earning more than whatever it is that we are going to give them. So it is not about the money. What they want are good pitches, a good pitch to be able to play on, and that we are working on. The lighting system appropriate, we are working on. And we're making sure that they have all the technical departments to be able to support the analysis of the opponents and the rest. We have worked on that also. So things that must be done for them to have a good environment to perform, we have put all those things in place. As for money, anyone who thinks that it is money that will make them to perform is deceiving himself or herself. Because it's not about money. Some of them, what they earn in a week, you can't pay them that even for a month. If they ask you to pay that for them for a month, we can't do that. So it's not about money. So money for me is the last thing that I'm considering. But I'm considering the conditions under which they will be playing. The pitch, the lightning, the environment in their dress rooms, and then what have you. These are things that are of concern to me. And of course, the technical department of the team, that how reinforced it is, how are they analyzing, what information have they collected on the opponent's players, and to share with the individual players in terms of strategy. So if you are telling a player that this is how I want you to play, the player knows that you are giving him this rule because this is what you have assessed of the opponent. And you read to see if there's any variation. You will vary as the match progress. So for me, these are things that we are doing. It's not about money at all. For me,
it is, so it's very clear that the agenda is set for that game on Friday. That is a must-win for the Black Stars if there's a need to, salvage the campaign, which is the true reflection of what we need to do as a nation. Well, let's go now to the recently organized National Sports Dialogue here by Joy Sports. One of the main speakers, Tom Vernon, who is the founder of the Right to Dream Group, is talking about business and how Ghana needs to position itself for sports business because it's a multi-million-dollar industry which other countries have successfully tapped into.
The starting point is to develop a national talent identification strategy, but also a global talent identification strategy. You know, we lose a lot of our sons and daughters of Ghana to other countries' national teams. So we need to start with the identification of our youth. But beyond that, I believe that we can be much more proactive in recruiting the most talented Ghanaians in the diaspora. Secondly is to establish a public-private partnership, talent development free zone, or as in America, you might call it an opportunity zone. These are tax incentivized regions of the country. We know this very well in the agri sector with our free zones within Ghana, but I think there's the potential for a talent free zone or a talent opportunity zone that can actually make investment into Ghana talent much more compelling from a tax incentives perspective. And then thirdly, to establish a public-private partnership for a national sports and entertainment hub. The Minister mentioned some of the most exciting countries, but another that has really excelled in entertainment in sports in Africa in the last few years is Rwanda, where we've seen so many of the best sports events on the continent going to a country which has no reputation until very recently within sports. So I think a hub for sports entertainment is also very possible. So if we talk about talent ID and development, how would I approach that? Through the formation of the Talent Identification and Development Corporation that would remain firmly in control of the government of Ghana, you would define the national framework, as the Minister mentioned, through which all talent identification and development partnerships would be operated. And this, I think, is a crucial point, because when people talk about attracting investment into Ghana sports, if we take football specifically, we haven't struggled to attract investment.
Well, more on our pages, especially on social media. It's on Joy Sports, on Facebook, and on Instagram as well. We've got all the excerpts of that thought leadership event. And of course, you'd have to watch the space for more as we discuss many issues of national interest. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the Ghana Premier League, because it's all known by now that one team says that they want to withdraw from the Ghana Premier League. Well, they have sent notice to the Ghana Football Association, and by the rules, if they are not present for 3 games continuously, the Ghana Football Association will also strike them out of the Ghana Premier League. That would also then mean that all clubs that they're supposed to play in remaining fixtures will have 3 points and 3 goals awarded to them, and that is going to change the dynamics as well on the Ghana Premier League table, and that's for Nswatreman Football Club. So as things stand now, Nswatreman Football Club will not be a part of the Ghana Premier League, as we all know. But that also means that all other outstanding games that are supposed to be played will be played. Well, so let's quickly take you through some of the outstanding games that will be played today ahead of the weekend. Asante Kotoko. This obviously a very big game. If Asante Kotoko is able to get a win from this game, it serves them a great purpose. Midiama SC are away to Samatex, and Bechem United will host Accra Hearts of Oak, who also are desperately looking for yet another win after dropping the guard last weekend. Basake Holy Stars will host All Stars FC. In Swatraman, this game not coming off because because of the withdrawal. Now, Dreams FC are going to Heart of Lions, who Heart of Lions find themselves in the top 3 of the Ghana Premier League. Nations FC will play Diana Stars, and Legon Cities go away to... Legon Cities will play at home at the University of Ghana Stadium to Vision FC. Now, Karela will play against Accra Lions in that game. So 2 games back-to-back at the University of Ghana Stadium. So Legon City is playing at home, and Accra Lions also playing at home at the University of Ghana Stadium. All right, so that's it for sport for this morning. Some more to come. We're bringing you trends in a bit. Shola is ready to bring us, quite some very, very interesting stuff, some stories that have been trending over the last 24 hours. So we'll get into that very shortly. But remember, we'll bring you some more information about where and how to get your tickets for the game between the Black Stars and Chad. We'll also be updating you on the final training sessions and updating you also on the health of the players as we look forward to what hopefully will be a very exciting game for the Black Stars of Ghana as they look forward to reviving their campaign for the FIFA World Cup qualification series. Well, that's it for me. I'll be back tomorrow to bring you some more. You stay well. Keep it here on the show because more exciting stuff coming up. Trends up next.
And you are still watching Prime Morning right here on Joy Prime. My name is Lois Shola Ademi, and every day, as I like to say, it's time for your favorite segment and my favorite segment, What's Trending, because this is where we get into what's happening in the world. But before that, let's talk about my spices. There is no way I start this segment without talking about the spices behind me. I know that we've said it over and over and over again that Tasty Tom Spices really is the fastest spices on the market, okay? There are so many different flavors that you can use depending on the food you're cooking and what you want to achieve. So for instance, if you're making chicken stew and you don't have enough chicken, but you want the aroma, right? You can use your chicken, Tasty Tom chicken spice. If you want the shrimp, it's available. If you want the jollof, for those who are jollof lovers like me, please get this on the markets. Also, they have the stew and they have the beef as well. So hey, it's affordable, it is good, it is sweet, it makes your food pop. So get your spices, all available markets. When you get to the market, just ask Auntie Pachame Pet Tasty Tom Spices. You'll see all of this available. Get yours and thank me later, okay? But from there, let's move to our trends, because let me tell you, today's trends is very interesting. Let's start with the US, but hey, it's Ghana in the US. So we all know Anas Arimeyao Anas, an investigative journalist who's doing amazing work here in Ghana. Well, there's good news because you know that in 2019, there was a case that came out. If you know the Daddy Fred show, hosted by Frederick Asamoah, you know, he invites guests that sit on to tell us about Ghana, some people that are not making Ghana go well. There is literally a show where we discuss Ghana, right? Everything from politics to economy, everything is discussed on that show. Well, Kennedy Japan was invited to that show in 2019, and he said something that didn't really sit well with our investigative journalist. He's made certain statements that didn't sit well with him. First, he said that he was a thief. He was responsible for another investigative journalist who died at that time. And I mean, for Anas, he felt like they were not saying the right thing. So he took it to Accra High Court. But he didn't win the case because the ruling, lawyer or the judge at that time said, oh, he didn't understand what was going on. So he moved it to the US. And finally, his claims have been brought to book. They have seen that what he actually said is right, and Kennedy Japan has been caught for defamation, and he has to pay a huge sum of $80 million. Yes, that's what Anas Arimeyao is taking home. $18 million. Take a look at the video, and then we take some comments. So you can see that, as I said, they've taken it to the U.S. High Court, and the verdict has been given. So also, you know that when this case started in Ghana, they asked Anas Arimeyao to come in his full self, meaning his real self. Anybody who knows Anas knows that up to now we do not know how he looks, because he comes there. It's either he has a prosthetic face on or he's covered his face. That's how Anas moves, right? He's an investigative journalist who's making sure that he hides himself and doesn't get himself killed. But in Ghana, that was one of the challenges he faced. But when he goes to the US, this man came in a prosthetic face. So if you think you've seen Anas, still, this is not Anas. So no. He has covered his face with a prosthetic face, and we can see that. There's another video of him telling us what you use the money for. So take a look at that video as well.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I stand before you not just as a journalist, but as a witness to history, a child of Ghana's turbulent past, and a soldier in the fight for truth. Yesterday, in the Essex County Superior Court of New Jersey, an 8-member jury delivered a unanimous verdict holding Kennedy Ejapong, former Ghanaian MP, liable for defamation and awarding damages of $18 million. The ruling is more than a legal victory. It is a profound affirmation that truth matters, that justice is not a privilege of the powerful, and that the arc of history does indeed bend towards righteousness. My story begins long before this moment. I was born at the 37 Military Barracks in Accra, the son of the soldier who served in an era where power belonged to those who wielded the gun. I grew up watching my nation transition from military rule to democracy, witnessing firsthand the struggle of ordinary Ghanaians yearning for justice, transparency, and accountability. When Ghana finally embraced democracy, I knew that safeguarding it required more than just laws. It needed...
Well, so you can see that at least he's telling us, do not say things that you don't have to say. Okay, I know we live in a democratic land. You're allowed to say what you want, but be careful. Okay, you don't know how it affects the other person. Some people just don't like these comments, right? So he's taking it. And you see the picture I saw or I showed you a few minutes ago? Well, it is alleged that that is his face. Others also say that this is his prosthetic face, but it's alleged that this is the real Anas Aremeyaw Anas. So hopefully I also just think that it could be his prosthetic face, because Anas, today you see him like this, tomorrow you may see him in another regalia. But yes, it is alleged that this is actually Anas Aremeyaw Anas. Anyways, social media has seen this. This man is walking around with $80 million. If it was me, I would have retired and run away to Santorini. But hey, he's an investigative journalist who loves his job. So we're waiting for the next, story that will come out from him. But social media has seen it. So we will take a few of the comments. Gode says that he said his victory is not personal, but for the whole country, and yet the money will be going into his personal bank account. G says that I'm just wondering, so our courts aren't neutral or credible enough? They had to solve this in the U.S. court. Well, Sheila says that $80 million, if Honorable Kennedy had the opportunity to either pay that money or beg for forgiveness, that man would rather pay. Ego alone kama, or sin ego no alone kama. Yo, that's more. Uncle Jay says that no amount of lies can defeat a single truth. When there's proper and fair justice, truth will always prevail. Budget says that this guy is not serious at all, so he could go to court without mask in US, but not in Ghana. But it's preaching democracy to us. He should revoke his US citizenship first. Someone Cyboy says that Anas won versus one Kennedy Japan away. Oh, well, so this is away home, right? Then he says that Chese, Ghana judiciary system, no dear, be so. And then Simon says that Charlie, good luck to all litigants in Ghana courts anyway. So at least he has his $80 million now, and this just be a good advice to you. As I said, social media is free. Democracy allows us to speak our minds freely, but be careful what you say with your freedom or do with your freedom, because your freedom may just not be your freedom, okay? So be careful, right? Let's move away from that to more stuff happening in Parliament, where our own Adwa Safo, former gender minister, said that she is happy. You can see, she says she doesn't regret abstaining from a levy. But you see, this is where the situation gets dicey, because people say they saw her in Parliament. So who was that? Because she has come out to say that, hey, I missed the brouhaha of whether e-levy should stay or e-levy shouldn't stay. She is happy that she didn't participate in the voting, right? But we saw somebody like her in Parliament, so everybody's asking, Adwa, oh yeah, sure, say, but she said she was there, and then she just didn't participate, right? So Alicia said the truth, that she was in there, but she didn't participate. So take a look at the video. As I said, she was in court. Take a look at the video. You can see that Adwa is here. And then shaking a few hands because, I mean, as I told you, so they were going to have votes, or which vote on the e-levy. E-levy has been a matter that has been in Parliament for a while as to whether they should keep it or let it go. They have voted for it to be out, but she says that for her own peace of mind, she didn't want to participate in it. So even though she was in Parliament, all right, she decided not to participate in the voting process for her own peace of mind. So you can see her in there. Those of you wondering, hey, you say you didn't participate, but you were there. At least she has told you, I was there, but I did not participate. So social media has seen this, and we have a number of comments on this matter. So we will take the comments. Cassie says that let's keep them 40 years in opposition. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Elaine says, hey, NPP brought someone to impersonate her. Oh no. Now that she wasn't the one. I think people need to be sanctioned. This is wrong on all levels. Phase 33 says that, but I thought she was the one sitting on her seats that day, or it be somebody. MPP and criminality. Kennedy must be arrested. He brought a woman who looked like her. Well, as I said, so people were saying, oh, but you said you weren't there, and you are there, you know. So it was a whole fight on social media. Sago says that, so who voted? Police must investigate the lady who impersonated her. There's still more. Sarah says that, so e-levy was criminally imposed on Ghanaians by Parliament with an imposter. Is this the House of Records? Mama says that, hey, Kase, hey. Adoma says that, hey, medicine has catch her, yo. Popo says that, armed robbers in codes, allow them. Boss says that, so it wasn't here all along. Wow. And then Shavo says that, so who came to vote for you? Anyway, so it is a whole thing now, but she told you she didn't participate in the voting process. She wanted her peace of mind. She didn't want any problem, so she didn't participate, and she doesn't regret it one bit. Well, let's move away from all this politics and let's go to music scene. I told you that it is TGMA season. Are you preparing your clothes? Well, you should start preparing now. But a musician is not happy with the nomination. Who am I talking about? Kim Paluta says that he is not happy with the fact that his song, Makuma, is not in the nominations. He says he took it because it's a good song, and under the year of review, he believes that this is a very popular song. Apparently, he and his team took this song for 4 categories, but they didn't put it in any of them, and he's not happy with it. He is not happy at all. So you can see that you know, TGMA always comes with it. There are some musicians who do not like that they didn't get some of their songs in there. Some of them talk, some of them don't. But he has. So as I said, he and his team took this and sent it to the TGMA team. So you can see that on the 18th of March, which was just yesterday, they took it to the board, the Teletel Ghana Music Awards board, and then they said petition on Makuma snub. We humbly write to your honorable board to demand some explanations in connection with the snub of Makuma by Kim Paluta, a song we duly submitted for consideration, which we believe remains Ghana's most popular song released the year under review, generating the most excitement amongst music lovers till date. We filed Makuma for most popular song, record of the year, high life song, or hip life song of the year, and then songwriter of the year. That's Kim Paluta. This concern has become necessary after the team realized that none of the categories were submitted. That said, the material was considered after the official nominees' announcement. We believe in the competence of the TGMA board, and we trust a convincing reason be issued to our team, music enthusiasts, and general public on this unpopular decision of the board. We are confident that Makuma breaches no moral or ethical requirements of the board and will be ready to engage for possible consideration of the song in the categories submitted earlier. And I told you, this is his team that have sent this message that we are not happy. We are not happy at all. As I said, we've had so many musicians who come out to say, every year I feel that I'm cheated. Some would say it, some would write back to TGMA. You know, last year it happened and then it was rectified for some of the artists that came out. This year, we hope that at least they can give him an explanation why Makoma wasn't there, because according to him and his team, it's a popular song. You at home, do you think it was popular? Do you think it's a popular song under the year of review? I mean, to me, it's a popular song. Everywhere I stepped last year, I was hearing this everywhere. Even kids are singing Ayamide. So do you think he is right? Do you think that Kim Paluta has every right, he and his team have every right to say, CGMA, at least put this thing in 2 or 3 or 4 of the nominations, because I think it was a really good song under the year of review? Well, you can send us your messages. Our WhatsApp line is active 055-157-5757. Send it to us on our Facebooks as well. Our Facebook is also very active, so hey, let us know. Do you think he deserves it? Do you think it's not really a popular song? Just say, it's just a song. We've heard it. There's nothing really about it. You can send that as well on Facebook and our WhatsApp, okay? But yes, today is the 19th of March. But before we get into the birthdays, we have some comments from what we just spoke about. Prince Shaq says that I think he's right for the most popular song and high life song of the year. But for the other two, I don't think so. Mr. Frimpon says that TGMA this year too, them go do reset. Bookshop says that Oreku Mante still there asking for my mom. What does your mom want to know? There's more. Bin Sam says that I believe it's because it was dominated in most of NPP campaign platforms that could promote or that could prompt a sabotage. John says that think about the money and forgets the awards king. Isaac says that the board should immediately do the needful. There's more. One general says that he knows better than them. Oh, wow. Lord says that this guy is so funny. This be John. Afa Papa says that I totally agree with this petition. There's more. Virgin says that because how can Pooh be more popular than Makoma? Let's be serious. Street says that Telesol Network and Kasano are no good, and you give your awards to them to organize. How them no go? Hold on. He says, how them no go nominates January 9th and JJJ as popular song, whilst Makoma Day there, yo.
And we are in that vibe, the Ghana Month vibe, the, TGMA's vibe, the music vibe, and we have here the one and only Berima Amo. Hi, Berima, yay! So the song you just heard is Berima Amo featuring Pat Thomas. That's a beautiful one.
Thank you.
And you have a nomination on it.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was so shocked. And
you were shocked?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You didn't see it coming?
No, my team did it, and they didn't inform me. Yes.
What team do you have? I need to get to me.
Team.
I can tell.
Yes.
So you didn't even know that they had filed for you?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you found out the nominees night, or when did you find out?
When I saw
the
one
flyer.
of them, we have a WhatsApp group they sent, I was like, what's this? I was like, is even TGMA interested in the kind of music that I'm doing? I was shocked, but I'm glad that it was nominated.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
And it's been nominated
really
for
good,
Record of the Year, right?
Yes, yes.
Congratulations.
It's been played around the world, so I'm happy that Ghanaians have seen this song.
Some people in Ghana might not even know you, but they've heard your music because it's that good. It's been played around the world, like you said. It's not just Ghana, but around the world. You don't live in Ghana.
No.
Where do you live, though?
I live in Amsterdam.
Okay.
Quintuni.
And you've been able to do so well with music. Some people say that, when you live abroad, it's difficult to do good music and bring it back to Ghana. So they have to come together. Just a few of you have, survived that. We've seen somebody like Dinah Hamilton who is doing it. But there are a lot of them who, because they traveled abroad, their career suffered. So how have you been able to do it?
I think that a few people have actually succeeded in that. So when you look at their model, like when Lumba and the guys from Germany were making it in Ghana, they weren't living in Ghana. So When you study that system, you know how to. But it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of plane tickets.
There's a lot of plane tickets. So you record all your songs here in Ghana?
No, some record here, some I record in Amsterdam, but all of them are mixed,
Okay. You've lived in Amsterdam for a very long time.
Yes.
How long? How many years now?
If I mention it, you would know my age.
Oh, I don't want to hear.
Because I'm 25, so...
Just like me.
I'm 25 like 10 times.
Right. So...
No, I went to school in Amsterdam. Right. After I finished John Tay, I went to Presec, Legon, and then I went to music school, Music University in Holland. So after that, I've been playing and touring.
So that was when you decided to come into mainstream music?
Yes, actually, I started making music in John Tay when I was 5. So, I mean, in the late 80s and 90s, John Tay was all over, and we were playing with the band. So that's what we were doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time now. Yeah.
But you could have done any genre of music, especially you living in Amsterdam.
Yes.
But you do high life.
Yes.
How?
So,
as young as you are.
So I studied jazz.
Okay.
I'm a jazz trumpeter, and that's what I studied.
But how I wish you brought your trumpet to play.
My trumpet is in maintenance in Austria.
Oh, okay.
It's specially made, so I cannot just give it to anybody. So I have to ship it to Austria, and then, so when I'm going back to Amsterdam, I go through Austria, I pick it up, and then I go back to Amsterdam.
So this time around, you didn't bring it?
No. Maintenance.
Wow. How much does it cost to do the maintenance?
Oh, it can buy 3 trumpets. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So it's going to cost how much, like $5,000?
In a year, maybe half of that, but I'm not paying for it because it's a deal.
Okay.
It's a sponsorship deal, so
okay, that's great.
They do the maintenance for me.
Okay, so you were on the story. Sorry, I cut you.
No, it's good. It's good. So, what were we talking about?
We're actually talking about you going into high life.
Yes.
But I've done any other journey?
Yes, so I was doing other journeys, and people like Teddy Osei, who mentored me for some time during my school days, he was like, you have to play your own music. I was like, And then Ampedu was the one that really drove it home for me. He came to my house and he was like, you have to do something with Which
Ampedu is this, Nana?
Nana Ampedu, yes.
The one and only Nana?
The one and only Ampedu. 10 years ago, he came to me.
Okay.
He was like, you have to do me. Because he came to Holland and then he saw me on the TV. Like, when he puts on the TV, he sees me. And he was like, who is this guy? Like, Amo, that's a Ghanaian name. I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, but why are you playing somebody else's music, you know? And then I love her life, but it wasn't something that I was doing. You know, we Africans are not taught to love the things that belong to us.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll call it my lost days. And so I decided to incorporate it. And then when I go on interviews or I'm talking and I'm going like, okay, I play her life. So what is that? And I'm like, her life is such great music, but people don't even know it, you know? And those that know it are... So for 10 years now, we've been doing constantly doing events, and now every High Life show in Holland is fully booked. And I mean authentic High Life.
That's for you?
No.
Your event?
No, I don't work for me myself. Any Ghanaian that comes to Holland that plays authentic High Life music.
Fully booked?
Yes. You are sold out.
Wow.
Yes. So that's the work we've been doing with the organization that I started.
Okay.
And sensitizing venues to, and you know, our African music is really loved around the world, you know. So I think, yeah.
It's really rich.
Yes.
Very
awesome.
Rich. Yeah.
Awesome music.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you meet Pat Thomas as well?
Pat Thomas comes to Amsterdam. He's called the Golden Voice, you know. Pat Thomas does 100 shows a year still.
Still?
Yeah. I mean, that tells you the longevity of our music. That people like Ambule, Pat Thomas, all these guys, they are still touring. You know, doing more shows than a lot of we, the young people. So he's seen as the guy that carries the music. And we relate, actually, he's called Kwabinamo and I'm called Kwabinamo.
Okay.
So he's my father, you know, and he's always anytime I need advice, I call him.
Right.
He guides me in some of the things that I do. And when I wrote this song, the only thing I heard was Pat Thomas singing on it. So I was like, Daddy, I have this song that I think, you have to be on it. Because I'm not into collaborations a lot.
Right.
But I was like, this one, you have to do it. And he was like, okay, let me hear it. Immediately, I sent it to him. He called me like 2 hours later that he has written
his verse.
I was like, hey.
Some are serious, eh?
Hey,
Yeah.
you know. And so then just the next day, I went to his house, we recorded it, and yeah.
And today, look at it.
Yes.
Wow.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I must say, congratulations, because that song was well orchestrated.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
You hear everything,
Yes.
the instruments.
Yes.
You can. It's just original.
Yes, yes. I mean, the musicians that played on it were awesome, you know, from around the world, and yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. So when I have a song, maybe I can hear somebody that I think lives in America who plays very well, and I send it to him to play. And so the drums is played by Bludo, the guitars are played by Checheku in France, and that's acoustic guitar, and then the lead guitar is played by Bright Osei,
Okay.
bar 4, and then the bass is played by Bright Osei, another Bright Osei in Germany. So it's like it's all over the place.
Oh, so how do you gather them then?
Yes, so I send it to them,
And then they
play it. So I describe what I want, my vision, and what.
So they play it,
Yes.
and then you bring it to the engineer.
Yes.
And then the engineer does everything.
Yes, I have a studio. I engineer myself, so I engineer everything. Yes, that's how I do all my albums.
Listen, if you don't understand music, you'll be as lost as I am. Because how is somebody in a different country playing drums?
Yes.
Somebody is playing bass guitar.
Yeah.
Somebody is playing...
Yes.
And then they bring it to you.
Yes. So this one sends their tracks. I mean, my latest album, the bassist is from Congo. Sometimes I play, there's a song that the singers are from South Africa. They're all over the place. So if they have access to a studio, I can send it to them. And that's the blessing of technology now.
And then they record,
yes.
The BVs will record their own.
Sometimes,
and send it to you in Amsterdam.
Yes, yes. Sometimes I'm on live and I'm giving directions. And sometimes I send them voice notes about what I want to happen. So what it does is that I get to have the best musicians for a song.
Okay.
So if I feel like Rosalind will be the best to sing, I'll call Rosalind. I need you to do some BVs or some lead on this song for me. It's like, okay, then I will book a studio, and then you go. Because I've heard your voice, I know what it does. And it's a beautiful time we live in.
It is, but then when you're having your live shows, because you have a beautiful event that you host in Ghana here, AmoFest, every year. This year is coming on,
it's
right?
It's coming on the 4th and the 5th of July.
Okay.
Alliance France.
Alliance France.
Yes.
It's always a sold out.
Yes.
Sold out.
Yes,
I've been there, and I can tell you guys that is a huge concert. Now, talking about that, how then do you get the BVs to sound the same as those BVs? Do you have to fly them from South Africa to come and have that event? Or how do you do it?
Sometimes, yes. But this is the thing. Live is actually different from studio recording.
Right.
You know, that one you're keeping a record of it. And so on live, actually the songs, when we play the songs live is way nice. Like we did Ochinasem at AmoFest with Pat Thomas, and it was like, we were like, oh wow. You know, and it wasn't the same BVs, but it went.
Okay.
There's a way that you arrange it. You know, there's a way that you come up with a song. One of my strengths is knowing what to give to people. Because Ajonte, what they did with me, Ajonte, and at that time I thought it was a negative. I was the one that was playing anybody's instrument that was sick.
Oh.
So when somebody so I had to learn all the songs on
all the instruments. So you play all instruments?
Yes.
You play the drums?
Everything.
The guitar?
Everything.
Everything?
Yes. So that was my work. So it's helped me to understand the instruments. When somebody's playing, I know the limitations. I know how to make it. So I think that is what has made me a good arranger of songs. And I know, okay, this person will fit this song. This person will fit this song.
So you don't struggle at all?
No.
No wonder all your songs sound so great. Because imagine, like, you have, like, about 10 songs on an album, and you have 6 different BVs. So on song A, the set of BVs are different from song B set of BVs?
It depends. Sometimes for continuity, you use the same BVs, but like sometimes as a male singer, I'll require a female to sing a certain part. And I feel like, okay, this is the singer that will fit on it, you know, and then, or maybe a saxophonist. But the saxophonist lives in America. He lives in Tennessee or Atlanta. And I'm like, I need you on this song, you know. And he's like, okay, let me hear it. If I like it, I'll play it. And then most of the time, God being so good, they like it. And so that's how it's
so I'm taking a look at your category.
Yes.
That category is a tight category.
Yes.
A very, very tight category. So there is Can I Live by AEC.
Yes.
There is Ochina Asem by you, Berima Mo featuring Pat Thomas.
Yes.
There's Antiama Kofi Kenata, Fallen Angel, Small God featuring Black Sharif, Holy Ghost featuring Kweku Smoke, and Facheme Kwabna Kwabna featuring Obapa Christie.
You know the funny thing?
Yeah.
All these songs, especially Kwabena Kwabena song, is one of, like, the first time I heard it, I was so happy with the song.
Yeah.
And for me, just being there is enough for me.
Oh, so you're not even looking at whether you win or not?
I didn't even apply, my team did.
Okay.
You know, but what I have heard about the record of the year is that they are looking at songs that are very artistic.
Okay.
You know, so if they look through the Ghanaian music scene and they feel like my song is very artistic,
but you have to vote.
Which it is.
But you have to vote.
Yes, yes, please vote. Vote. But it's an honor for me to have a song, because this is the thing. Songs that have live instrumentation is not so much represented in the award schemes, not only in Ghana, but everywhere. You know, so we make our songs specially for festivals.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes. When I make my song, I'm thinking about whether I can play it at a festival.
Okay. With a live team.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, so to have it on there is like a big plus for me, and I really thank you, TGMA, for recognizing a great song.
Yeah. Can I Live has live instrumentals as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know that particular song.
Okay, it's by AEC. Kofi Antiama by Kofi.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
Okay.
That's a great one. I mean,
are you scared? Are you scared with
me? I'm happy I'm there.
I like that. It's like whether you win or not, you're happy you're there.
There's a certain meme on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And somebody won the first race and the person was sad. And somebody was on the third place and they were happy. And I'm like, that guy who is on the third place. And I'm like, okay, you know, because I've been here like for 5 years now, trying to put High Life on the back to the people, because this is the thing, we are selling out venues in Europe and America and South America, but in High Life shows here, like authentic High Life shows, it's not like so much. We have the new move, and I mean, music is dynamic, it changes, but I have always felt like we still have to maintain our roots. You know, today being Ghana man, you know, you looking beautiful and me looking like a foreigner, but God is good, we are still here. You know, so having our own music, and for me, this is an encouragement for people that want to do authentic High Life, that you can do it to the highest level. And that is my joy, that somebody sitting there that likes authentic High Life, wants to hear those Onyina sounds, want to hear those Ampedu sounds, you know, not lost, very prevalent in the song, that they can still do it and still have the recognition. For me, that is the win.
That alone?
Yes, that is the win.
So if you should win, what would that mean to you?
I'll throw a party. No, I like celebrating.
Okay.
Life is about celebration. You know, the bad is chasing you, so you have to chase the good.
Okay.
You know, so anytime I have to celebrate, I'll celebrate. I'll throw a party here, I'll throw a party in Amsterdam. Where again? I can throw a party somewhere.
Then you need to win, because some of us have started that party. You see? We need to enjoy the party. I mean, hey.
pop champagne.
Pop champagne and all of that.
You know,
Then you need to win.
Yes. Okay. So please vote.
Yes.
Vote.
And voting is actually free.
Yes.
Yes, it's free. So, guys, you have to go on there and vote for your favorite to win.
Yes.
If your favorite is Berima Amo for Record of the Year, then go and vote for him because he does deserve it. So for this particular category, the good thing is that it's not about the numbers. It's not about, you know, how popular the song is. Once the person has a good song, you listen to it, you listen to the instrumentation and everything, and you think it's spot on, then that person deserves to win. So go ahead and vote for our own High Life music. A young man putting High Life on the map. You're doing well. But how challenging is it?
It is very challenging here. Yeah, it's challenging here. And then it's like you're a foreigner in someone's land. It's easy to be a jazz musician. It's easy to play a mix of maybe jazz and some African rhythms.
Yeah.
You know, but to go like deep into High Life in the last like 7 years, you know, I've had to relearn a lot of things. But I like challenges, you know, so I'm like, bring it on. And yeah, it is challenging. Everything is challenging. That's why everybody's not at the top. So, yeah.
Most people say, especially in Ghana here, the most difficult thing is investment. Do you get people to invest in your craft in Amsterdam?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I work hard. I'm a pragmatist. I look at what I have and I see what I can invest and what I cannot invest. So when I do a show, it's like that's what we turn around. I come and I've done AmoFest twice. This year will be the third time. I've not had a sponsorship here, but I bring artists. Last year we had 17 artists.
International artists?
Yes.
Yes.
We had, out of that, we have 6 international artists that came from all around the world, from Canada, US, and Europe. And it's all sponsored by me, yeah.
Do you do any other job apart from music?
No.
You do music full time?
Yes. No, what people think is that you have to be popular to have money in music, and it's not true.
Really? So you make a lot of money from music?
No, please don't. My family's watching.
I like that one. Your family is watching, So if your family were not to be watching, you would have made me aware that you make.
Please,
But does it pay? Does music pay?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything pays for some people and not for some people, you know. But I need all the help I can get. Okay. Like this year, I've had to move AmoFest to June because of funding. But I'm the type, I don't like complaining.
Right.
So if you realize, I'm struggling to say some of the challenges, but there are challenges. And I need all the help that I can get.
Because imagine flying, how many artists? 6?
Yes, 6 artists last year.
You flew them?
Yes.
And you know, flying artists means that, house them?
Yes, in a hotel, per diem.
You have to pay them per diem?
Yes. When they fly me, they pay me per diem.
I see.
Oh, yes.
Before the honorarium?
Before the honorarium.
Ah.
Fat envelope. Yeah.
It has to be fat?
Yes.
Do they take it in cedis or they take it in dollars?
Oh, somebody, even the Ghanaians are taking dollars. How much would that be for?
Wow. Then I think that we really need more investors in
this. Yes, I do. I mean, after AmoFest, I'm broke, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, so I need all the help. I'm here to speak to some investors and see what we can do, you know. And so, yes.
I think that you should probably contact GTA, Ghana Tourism Authority, and see, because this is something that is straight up tourism.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And what you do, your event itself is another form of tourism.
Yes.
Because you are bringing people all the way from the diaspora to Ghana here. Maybe you should contact KOD, the head of diaspora affairs, contact our very own Abeku Santana, Deputy CEO for GTA. I know they will definitely come on board and do something.
Yes, I like how you're mentioning their names. It puts pressure on them too.
Oh, yeah,
So
I know they will do.
Yes.
I know them for a fact. I know they will do. You know, because I had a conversation with, Abeku over the weekend, and he said that we don't know them.
Yes.
If they approach us, we will do it.
Okay. So,
and that's what they are planning to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I come to Ghana and I go, I don't know so many people.
Right.
So I write official letters.
Yeah, just write official.
But they are official. In Ghana, nothing is official.
No. I think that you should just do the official one.
Okay.
Okay, because you never know.
Okay.
There's a different government as well.
Okay.
And everybody wants to make sure that they leave a good mark.
Okay.
And so write your official letter.
Okay.
When you realize it's not going, find the person's number and call the person. Sometimes just walk into the office.
I did that last year.
You did it last year?
Yes.
But did it yield results? Don't worry. I said, for now, let's say everybody wants to leave a mark.
Please,
so.
everybody, I'm hiring Rosalind.
Everybody wants to leave a mark.
Yes.
So,
I'm hiring Rosalind
to
help me with GTA.
Like I said, just write the letter, take it there. I know the man is ever willing to help things that are originating, you know, with our, or it's more or less like liaison with our culture.
Yes. I mean, last year, what we did was that we did a competition for bands to play their own songs.
Yes.
And a lot of the bands, some of them were even like Thierry, because they're like, okay, everybody invites us to play, but all we do is play covers. Now, all the bands in Ghana plays covers. And so for the first time, people got to hear their music.
Yeah.
And we gave them awards, we gave them some money. The Dutch embassy helped, they liaised with us.
Yeah.
And we did these things. So, I mean, there's so much work to do. You know, sometimes we only concentrate on the top, the people with who are trying to do
the name and all of that.
And then, there's the backbone of the music industry, which is bands. And so, yes, I'll be happy to work with GTA. Abeku Santana, I've come on your program before. So I'll be contacting
you know, he's a very nice person.
Really?
And he's not rude. He's very humble, very, you know, accessible. That's what I love.
The thing is that some of the people that played with me, he also played with them. Okay. You know, he's a musician from Koforidua.
Oh.
Yes. So we've talked about this history and everything. So I'm going to contact him. I was happy to see him there because
you should. And you should do it now.
Now?
Yeah, because
right
they just read the budget.
Oh, wow.
They just read the budget.
Was there a
budget was read last week, and so they go now.
Okay.
Before people go there. Anyway, so this particular year, apart from Amo First, what else do you have in mind or plans you have?
So I have a live album coming up.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, and then Amo Fest, and then I also have High Life Fiesta Festival in Holland that I do every year. So we're preparing for that. I'll be going on tour.
All right.
Yes, and so yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the tour is your own tour?
Yes.
Oh.
Every summer.
Every summer?
Yeah.
Where do you tour?
Throughout Europe and South America. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this for, the touring?
You're trying to get my age. I'm still 25.
Don't worry, I'm not complaining at all.
Okay.
We just want to know.
So by the time I was 9, I had been to most of the West African countries. I did my first European tour when I was 12. Yeah.
Wow.
And then when I was 14, then when I was 16, then when I was 18.
Wow. So you've been touring for a while?
Yes.
And now you're going to be touring with High Life as well?
Yes.
I love High Life. I love everything High Life. And I love the fact that a young man says, I'll do only High Life.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah,
so this will be what number album?
Wow. Like the 6th.
Your 6th album?
Yes.
Your High Life?
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
mixed with some jazz and Afro music and, you know, Masakela, Osibisa. This album is actually very special to me because I'm paying tribute to some of the greats, you know. Somebody like Akompi. Akompi actually was so good that he had his own guitar style. You know, so when you tell a guitarist that play Akompi, he knows what to do, and that's how good he was.
Okay.
So paying homage to people like Akompi. I did a song like Onyina style, Nana Mpedu, Ramblers, all these people, you know, like just putting it in.
Is it that you sing their songs?
No. I wrote
their style.
Like I use their style to write songs. Like it's as inspiration. Yeah.
So do you feature anybody on this album?
I featured Talula, who is a Dutch artist.
Okay.
And the album is called Rhythms of Love. It's coming out soon.
Oh, Oh, that's nice. So he has a lot of love songs.
Yes.
There. Hey, people will be using it for their weddings.
No, so this is the thing. I have very few female fans.
Okay.
Like maybe 7% to 13% of my listeners are only female. Oh. But they are die-hard fans. And what happened in recent years is some of them invite me to come and play at their weddings. And me, I'm only doing advice and a bebu and all these things. And I realized that, okay, I don't have songs for that type of environment where love is expressed, like African love brewed in an African pot. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do some love songs. You know, songs that describe black love, describe love that is authentic, that I can sing for my female fans when they want me to.
Ah,
yes.
Female friends.
Yes.
Friends.
Fans, yeah.
Friends.
Yeah.
So love brewed in the African pot. Back to female friends.
No, I know where you are going with this. What I'm saying is that most of my fans, when they invite me to come and sing at their weddings and like engagements and stuff, I don't have love songs.
Ah, okay. So now you want to do it for them. Okay. So which is your favorite on the album that's about to be released?
It's called Love is Sweet.
Marima, it looks like you're in love.
No.
You know. Are you married though?
Me?
Yes.
I don't know yet.
Oh, not yet. You're not married yet.
I'm waiting. You have to recommend somebody now.
Oh, you want a Ghanaian girl?
I want a good girl.
You want I like that. So Love is Sweet. Can you sing a bit of that for me?
Oh.
Just a little, maybe a line in there.
Oh, it goes like, love is sweet, oh, love is sweet. Love is sweet, oh. I did it in Abu Taylor style.
Oh, okay.
You know? So, yeah, you would hear it. Just don't worry. It will come,
so when is this album coming out? I know it's this year, but when?
We have to do a press release in Amsterdam in June, and then it's out.
Okay. Are your parents in Amsterdam?
My parents were in the States, but they retired and they moved to Ghana. My father is here now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who are you in Amsterdam with, or who did you move to Amsterdam?
I moved because of school.
Ah,
yeah.
And you got stuck?
Yes.
You didn't come back. I wonder what your parents said when you decided not to come back.
No, they were in the States then.
Okay.
You know, so they were like, just come to America. I was like, nah.
You just loved it.
No, I like Europe is way better.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it that you learned the language and you loved the language?
It's not that I suck at the language still, but yeah.
Still?
Yeah, I speak it, but ik praat niet zoveel. Yeah. I said I don't speak it so well, but the society, the way Europe is built, Europeans don't pay the.
Okay, yeah. Very, very...
Yeah,
so a certain class, very demure, you know, we don't want this, that, want this, we are in a certain... Okay,
so,
all right.
So, and the quality of life for me, like I have traveled around the world, and the quality of life in Europe for me was way better.
High class.
Yes.
High class.
And yeah, high class.
But it is. It is.
So for me, like being in Europe was a thing, and I've like doubled in my mind about going to America with the music, but it's next year that I'll do that.
Also, you haven't gone to America with your music?
I've been there before, but not to like do a major tour.
Okay.
Because when I'm going, like I want all the lights and the fanfare.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I think that one of the things that I have learned from the Afrobeat guys and the young guys is how to market. You know, I'm still learning that because for me, transitioning from a musician to an artist has been a very that has been one of my challenges because I like to be a musician, but being an artist is a different.
It's a different ball game.
Yes.
What do you have to do to be an artist?
So it takes me a lot of energy to make the music. Okay. I have to write parts. Like I had to record an orchestra on Danasi, one of the songs, like strings part. I have to write all the sheet music for them. And so after I've been through that and I've done like a recording session, sat in the studio, mixed, done everything, I'm tired. But then now you have to promote it. And I realized that the Afrobeat guys are very good at promoting, like coming on TV. And
I needed to put together a team for them to like really, because I was lacking in that. So I really, like, my team has been really incredible here. They're like, you have to go here. I'm like, no. You know, and now, like, I can get a call. Can you come for an interview this evening? I'm like, okay. First, I'll go like, no.
Because at that time, you didn't understand what an artist had to do.
Yes. So for me, I'm like, the people that are doing her life, it's easy to sit back and complain, but you have to do the work. You know, and I didn't think this was nothing until I had to do it. It's very draining. Yeah, you guys, I don't know how you guys do this.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
You know, and so
you have to look good all the time. Yeah, all the time.
I have to ask you certain questions after the camera. Like, how is Rosalind doing this?
24/7. You have to look good, whether you're having a bad day or not. You can meet a fan and the fan will smile and you go like, listen, I have a bad day. No, you can't.
You know, when I come to Ghana, I just want to walk on the street.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
You know, my team had to call me for a meeting. That I cannot be walking on the street and buying coconuts like I'm a normal person. I was like,
this is me.
Yeah,
this is me.
You know, so I'm learning how to, you know, do that. I keep to myself anyway, but I'm learning how to be an artist. So it's paying off.
No wonder they say Artist of the Year. It's a big deal. Because you should. You can't see Stonebwoy on the streets.
No.
You can't see Sarkodie on the streets. You can't even see Shatawale who says I'm a street boy on the street.
Yes. You know what? One funny thing. I was in Ghana one time, and that was when there were masks. And I had done something to my hair, and I had masks on. And I was entering into a building. And then there's some boys where they started, that's Shatawale. And the guy started running towards me. I was like, oh, is this what these guys go through?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm not Shatawale. They're like, you're like, hey. And then I removed my mask. They're like, oh.
You should be wearing your mask for me to see if you really look like Shatawale.
I did my hair. I think I did
your hair
a certain,
Okay.
And I had plaited here to put some lines, and I think it looked like, I don't know what they saw, but it was very funny. And they were rushing. I was like, is that what these guys go through here? You know, in Europe, people leave you alone. So a lot of even the American artists, they like to holiday in Europe because you can be walking on the street, nobody will mind you.
Yeah.
People will just wave and maybe take a picture, but people leave you alone. But not here. So,
not here.
Yeah.
So you have to be an artist.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not easy.
It's not easy. I cannot say, Rosalind, let's go and Charlie, there's some cocoa joints.
I do though. Me, I do. Me, I go eat my fufu as my fufu joints. And then some people meet me and go like, are you Rosalind? They go, you look familiar because they don't expect you.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I do? Like, yeah, are you on TV? I'm like, no, I'm not.
Exactly.
No, I'm not on TV. Maybe somebody looks like me. I need to eat my fufu. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so sometimes people look at you, they're like...
Yeah.
Like we see, like you're in Amsterdam, like, I'm not sure,
Yesterday was your birthday too. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
We hope you had an amazing time.
I had an amazing time. I mean, for me, the best gift I had was just sitting with my dad.
Oh.
Having a long chat. The little things of life, you know.
Yeah, I know, right?
And having chats about hearing the same stories the 100th time. And, you know, I don't take those things for granted.
Yeah.
That was such a beautiful day for me.
That's great.
You know, having a meal.
That's great. Oh, and congratulations once again on your record of the year.
Yes, the shocker of my life.
The shocker of your life. You've been in the industry you've been singing for a very long time. You were like 7 years.
Yes.
And for the first time, you have a recognition.
Okay, so before I started putting myself outside, and I had a studio that I've produced like 6 #1 hits in the Caribbean and South America. Yes. I've had engineering awards from Brazil, from Mexico, from South America. Yes, I have like 12 awards.
Wow.
So this is the first Ghanaian award for me.
Wow, wow.
And as an artist, not as like me producing someone else. And so it's very special to me.
Oh, congratulations. So don't forget to go ahead and do the voting. Yes, so there's a birthday cake for you since yesterday was your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Berry Ma. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, Rosalind, You are showing me levels. So.
So it's from your team and us. We want to wish you a happy birthday. Yeah.
Hey, this is my team. Eh?
So happy birthday.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
Hey, I'm cutting too deep.
No, cut it. Cut it. It's okay. Cut it very deep.
I saw one cake online. They use cellophane and then it's just a small part.
Yeah, that's how they do it lately. But so you have to let me hold it and cut it for you. All right. So
sword cutting.
We cut the cake in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Put it down for you.
Yes.
All right. So, guys, don't forget to go and vote for Berima Apple.
Yes.
Your final words before you go.
Thank you, Rosalind, for having me. I didn't know. Hey, this. Wow. Thank you so much. And I want to thank TGMA board for selecting my song. I want to thank Ghanaians for supporting somebody that is doing music that is not mainstream.
Yeah.
And thanks to my team. They are just an incredible bunch.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Great. And so go and vote for Berima Amo to win a record of the year. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we are delving into the TGMA nominations. Do stay. And you're still watching Prime Morning. I did tell you earlier that we are going to delve into the TGMA nominations. Of course, it happened on Saturday, and afterwards, there's been a lot that's happened on social media with regards to it. You know, fans will always come hard at you if they feel their person was not nominated or the song was not nominated in the right category. Or, you know, some will also come and say that, oh, we think that this nomination was not fair. This person doesn't deserve to be here. A typical example is what has happened to both Team Eternity and Kimpaluta. Now, talking about these two artists or these two great acts, it looks like last year, for some reason, they were the top of minds for most people, Kimpaluta and Team Eternity. They both had the biggest songs of the year. Yes, somebody will say Kweku Smoke was for the streets, but I ask, for the street, how many of us are singing? We don't even know his songs. I'm sorry, but it's a fact. Yeah, he's for the streets love him. But you know, somebody like Shatawale, when they say Shatawale is for the streets, but I'm able to sing his songs. You understand? There are people that might not be a Shatawale fan, but they know the song and they know the name. Kweku Smoke, they know, some might know the name, some might not know the name. And if you are not a fan of his, you might not even know his song at all. But we take somebody like Kimpaluta. You might know the name. You might not even know the face, but you know the song Asida. You know the song Makoma. Funny enough, Makoma did not make it.
It will be a tough one. I mean, like he's taking steps to actually do it because, you see, if you're an artist and you put in work and it gets to a point where you feel like a certain recognition is supposed to be given a piece of work and it's not given, you, the artist, will be able to decide that even between 3 or 4 of your songs, this one deserves to be there than even this one. We've had this situation before where an artist has submitted 2 songs and the one that he felt would have been picked was not picked, but a different one was picked, and he had to go and contest it and say that, you know what, I think this song of mine should have taken this spot than this song, which is all the same artist owns those songs. You get it? So for me, I think that yes, if he decides to take steps to rectify that, it will be good. But then again, you'll be asking yourself another question: what did the board see? Why didn't they put that song in there? And they have to also come out and give us reasons why, because the reason why we open this, you know, period for us to address some of these issues is for us to get to understand the nitty-gritties of what went into the picking of a certain song over another. And I'm not sure he didn't submit that song. He did. And
he did,
the only reason why he wanted to fight back. And so if he did, what did the board decide on? Why did they decide on that instead of Makoma?
Yeah.
You understand? So, yes.
I think we should take a look at his letter that he wrote to the board of TGMA. If we have the letter, we can take a look at the letter and let everybody know that he did say that he wrote a letter to the TGMAs. He has sent them an email, but he wants the world to also know that he's written to them. So it says, petition on Makoma snub. We humbly write to your honorable board to demand some explanations in connection with the snub of Makoma by King Paluta, a song we duly submitted for consideration, which we believe remains Ghana's most popular song, released the year under review, generating the most excitement amongst music lovers till date. I don't know if everybody will agree with that last statement, though, as though it is the most popular song, because somebody will also say that there's another song that was the most, is arguable. So he says that we filed for most popular song, record of the year, hip life song of the year, and songwriter of the year by King Paluta. Now, this concern has become necessary after the team realized none of the categories we submitted the said material for was considered after the official nominees announcement. We believe in the competence of the TGMA board and trust that a convincing reason be issued to our team, music enthusiasts, and general public on this unpopular decision of the board. We are confident that Makoma breaches no moral or ethical requirements of the board, and we will be ready to engage for possible consideration of the song in the categories submitted for earlier. Sincerely, management of King Paluta. KMJ.
It's a decision in the right direction. I mean, like they said, it's not something they usually do, but it's become important that this time around they actually write it them. If I were in his shoes, I would have felt the same way, because we all know the magnitude of that song and what it did in terms of circulation, in terms of reception, in terms of gigs that he played, all right? And so for me, I think that, yes, if they feel they were able to actually file and they feel that, you know, it was not really looked at, they have to look at it. I wouldn't be surprised if the board decides that they want to recall him back and put it in any of the categories or what he was nominated for. I'll be surprised. It's been done before. Last year he did the same thing. Certain songs were not there.
Yeah.
After the submission,
I think it was, what's his name? Amarado?
Yeah,
Amarado,
they found themselves in there. So it's not the first time we're going to be seeing an artist contest a certain category, an amendment made, and he representing in that category. So I'll be glad to see it over there because it has the potential of giving him a certain edge.
Yeah.
Makoma is a huge song, no doubt about it.
What about Asida? Asida is also huge.
Asida was also huge.
Asida is not as huge as it is.
But the artist is actually fighting for Makoma.
But he got a nomination for Asida too. So.
Exactly, but he's still fighting for Makoma. If Asida was huge than Makoma, he wouldn't be actually fighting for it.
Do you think that he feels that Asida currently might not stand the chance because it might not be on top of the minds of the people like Makoma?
No, if you play Asida today, it still gives you that nostalgic feeling as we had actually experienced way back, right? That song had a potential of making him the numbers it did, or the reception it got, and nothing will change that. Even it's just like Sarkodie and Castro's song. If you play it a million times, it will still resonate with the people because of the direction it took in terms of lyrical content. So it wouldn't take anything away from it. But the mere fact that he's fighting for Makoma to tell you something about how maybe that song means a lot to him.
All right.
You understand?
Okay.
So, yes, it's a good fight. If it works for him, why not?
Okay.
If I see Makoma and Asida, I may be tempted to even vote for Makoma.
Okay, all right. Okay, Gamji has a point there. So on that note, we are hoping that the board of TGMA they know better, we don't, and so they will say that it qualifies. If it doesn't qualify, they'll also come out with a statement to let us know why it does not qualify. All right, so now let's take a look at Team Eternity Ghana, where Team Eternity Ghana also has been nominated, and it's what has brought up a conversation around Team Eternity Ghana is because their group Now, they being a group, fortunately, also released one of the biggest songs in Ghana, not even just Ghana, but the world. You know, they brought out Diffie Diffie, and almost everybody sings Diffie Diffie. Almost everybody plays Diffie Diffie. I remember my pastor telling me that he went to New York, and on the streets of New York, they were playing Diffie Diffie. He was surprised. He said, what? They are playing Diffie Diffie here. So that's how huge that song is. Now, they got nominated, and some people feel that because they are a group, they do not belong into the category of artists. Trying to back it with the meaning of artists on Google, it became a conversation because people felt that, okay, when R2Bs won Artist of the Year, they are R2Bs, they're a group. We've seen Achiame win. We've seen Pryor win. So why is it a problem if Team Eternity has been nominated there? Okay, so now this particular song is one of the biggest songs in Ghana. Whether we like it or not, just in Ghana. Like I told you, even on the streets of New York it's been played, in the street of London it's been played, one of the biggest songs. Now they're a group, and they are in Gospel Artist of the Year category, and they are in Artist of the Year category. Now, what do you think about it? Because some people feel that since they're a group and there's a Group of the Year category, they don't have to be in Gospel Artist of the Year or the Group or the Artist of the Year category.
It's only a delusional person that would think that this is an argument in the first place. And I think that we've gone past, you know, some of these nonsense, if you want. And I'm not even going to be looking at it from a gospel point of view. If an artist works hard and put a lot of work into what they have done, whether a group or an individual, and a certain award scheme says that I've got a criteria that indicates that that person, under the Wheel of Review, deserves to be nominated for that category. How delusional can you be to contend such a decision? And let's be honest with ourselves. You see, I don't even want us to skew this towards the human beings in crabs in buckets conversation that, oh, we are doing pulling down and all of those things. I don't even want us to skew this conversation towards that angle. It doesn't make sense. There is no sense in this. It's either, first of all, the person does not even understand the criteria in nominating or putting somebody in that category, first of all, because you are not sensible than all the board members and the academy. You're not sensible than any of them. You are not. So if the board, which is made up of individuals that have played a certain role for a long period, for 26 years, have decided that criteria makes it possible for a group to be nominated as an Artist of the Year and you want to contend it, all in the name of what? I think it doesn't make sense. And it's a non-starter. We don't even have to get to this point in the first place. They deserve to be there. They worked hard under the Year of Review. And even that person that is contending this, I'm sure will be sitting in their home and they'll be playing this song every single day. It doesn't make sense for anybody to even come out with this.
So for Team Eternity, I mean, I think that one thing that I noticed, and I haven't noticed it in the gospel space for a very long time, is their command anytime they step into an auditorium. They were at IS, and trust me, I was amazed at when their name was mentioned, it was like, whoa, they mounted the stage. The applause couldn't stop. That's how people were chanting for them. And I'm like, where did they get this magic from? You know? And when they started the song, the auditorium was turned upside down. They went to Kumasi for Emoji's program. Apparently, immediately they got out of the bus, people started chanting for them, like, they want Team Eternity, Team Eternity. That's the kind of command that they've gotten or they've gained in recent times. And so this is a force to reckon with.
And let me give you state, it's not even about the group. A lot of people don't know the individuals that forms the group. It's about good music.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that a lot of people are losing sight of. People think that, oh, they came, they erupted, and out of no... I personally, I don't know most of the individuals in the group. I can't pinpoint them and say, I know this. But I sit back and I listen to a song that is made by a group or individuals who believe so much in the song more than any other person. And this one thing a lot of people lose sight of. If you don't believe in what you're putting out there, do not think anybody will believe in it.
Yeah.
Look at the kind of energy and belief they have in that song. Trust me. It is what is doing the magic for them. It's not even the personalities behind the song. It is about the kind of belief and energy that they attach to the song. It makes it so easier for anybody to believe that, you know what, this song can do the magic that it is done for these people. So whenever people sing it, they attach that belief and that faith and that
the love, and the energy, right?
It's not even about the group.
Again, when they were at the stadium for Joe Metals' concert, I mean, when they started the song, people ran from the
It's not about the group.
to the stage just to dance.
It is not them. It is not the group or the individual. No. It's about what they've been able to make that song what it is. And it will continue to give them that leverage over many other songs.
You think they should win the Popular Song of the Year?
I won't even fight it if they do. Who didn't sing Munjamio?
Artist of the Year?
If they win, I'll be happy.
You'll be happy.
No doubt.
And voting is actually free.
Anybody that is in there deserves to win.
Yeah.
So why not?
Songwriter of the Year?
Beautiful song.
9 nominations.
Beautiful song. That song was well written. It's a beautiful song. And you know what we know about writing? You know, there are a lot of people that have done songs, the melodies have done the magic for them, but when you listen to the lyrics, you know that it has a defect. We've seen this before.
Yeah. It's even the rap for me, though. That rap was something else.
It was an incredible piece.
Yeah.
And I think congratulations to them. They believed so much in it. They held on to it. And it's done all the magic for them, and congratulations to them.
And let's not talk about even Nana's voice on that song.
An amazing singer.
Amazing.
I think
she's been nominated
she's only the person that I can pinpoint and say, I know that is part of the...
Right. All right, so this is all time with Premise Stats for this segment. But maybe Friday we'll delve deeper. And I think Friday, what we should do is to take the event and the kind of traction these persons or individuals in the Artist of the Year category have been able to do and probably play it for you all to see how they are able to, you know, command and be Artist of the Year, and you can cast your vote for your favorite. My name is Roslyn Felly. I've been doing this with...
I'm KMJ. It's been good hanging out with you. We're back again tomorrow. Make sure you spend some time with us at 6 p.m. Please do good and communicate.
6 a.m.
6 a.m. I beg your pardon.
Bye.
6 a.m.